Supplies. Hello, everybody.
Good afternoon, all. Happy New Year to you all.
Yes, there's the first one, isn't it? So happy New Year to the watching viewers in the UK, in around the world, in the Americas, in the Asias, in the Africas.
And Cody.
Yes.
And Cody, yeah. He's North Americans.
New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. And to you, Shan. We were actually waiting for one of your North American cohorts. It's Colin's fault. We were waiting for him to log on, and he's not here yet. So he's gonna join the stream whenever he comes online. So you can.
But I was also waxing my scalp.
You can get your revenge in the South Park song "Blame Canada, Blame America." So it's America's fault. First things first. Spurs on this day in history. You got 1971 or 1982? What are you going for, boys?
Let's have
1982. Oh, both.
Let's have both. We're going for both.
Have both. Well, yes, Rez. Let's have both. Why not?
Exactly. Yeah. It's New Year.
Let's be different for once.
1971. Man United scrape a 2-1 victory at Old Trafford to dent Tottenham Hotspur's slim Division 1 title hopes. Martin Peters scores Spurs' only goal of the game, but it was not enough to overcome a strong United side. Nearly 48,500 fans squeezed into Old Trafford to watch this closely contested game between two of the best sides in England. Spurs went on to finish third in the league under the charge of Bill Nicholson, but found glory not long after this game in the League Cup, beating Aston Villa 2-0 at Wembley. Do you remember that one, Alan?
No, it was a little bit before the time. I mean, it would have been on the programme on the Sunday, which I might have been elsewhere. I can't remember. I was only... What was it? It was 71, so I was 7. So I was mostly outdoors playing football.
You might remember the second one then, 1982, Saturday the 6th.
Oh, I remember that one.
We'll see. The new West Stand is officially opened with the visit of Wolverhampton Wanderers to White Hart Lane, and those who witnessed the game from this new vantage point were not to be disappointed. Tottenham winning 6-1 with Ricky Villa grabbing the headlines with a hat-trick. Glenn Hoddle helped himself to a penalty before Garth Crooks and Mark Falco rounded off the scoring late on against the eventually relegated Wolves.
Oh.
Do you remember that one?
I can say I was mostly there, but remembering it, I don't know. As I said to you,
El Vino doth flow.
Between 1973 and 84, I must have missed a handful of games at home. And went to quite a few away games, but Cody's coming on. The beard.
Was that when you were heavy into the LSD those days when you were missing those games, or what?
No, unfortunately, Cody. After 84, my life changed. I became an addicted gambler and couldn't afford football.
Don't you feel bad, Cody?
Yeah.
Nah. I'm a dick. You can't make me feel bad. I was born in 84, so it was probably some kind of divine balance that was being struck.
Please,
you know,
something. I was 20 years old in 84. Now you've made me feel ancient.
Well, I'm making you feel lots of things, and I haven't only been on here 20 seconds. But life's about balance, you know. When something so good as me coming into this world happens, you know, something shitty has to happen on the other end. So sorry you had to bear the brunt of
camera on.
How's that beard going anyway? How's that beard? Is it on its way back?
My beard update. He's taking a snap every day. Oh, there he is. He's getting there. Look at that.
You'll be Santa by next Christmas.
Like a Rocky, fighting bears and beating up beavers in the woods.
I think Cody's the only one that ever gives me likes on Twitter. He's the only person that ever gives me likes.
Is it a sympathy like, Cody, or is he actually funny?
It's got to be because no one else likes me.
Big up to Derek.
Little from column A, a little from column B. Yeah. So just a few comments before we get going. Hello, Derek. Adam Clark. Hello, Adam. You right there?
Hello, Scott.
Scott's bowing down in reverence to you there, Cody. He's no longer the meanest Canadian.
Scott M is on the Mount Rushmore of mean Canadians.
What's the weather like today, there, Scott?
We got to check his birth certificate. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's something like minus 20 or 29 yesterday.
How
This
cold is it
guy
where you
is-
are, Cody?
This guy is too mean to be a Canadian.
Today it's about minus 12
you-
Celsius, but
did you have
it's
to
been it's been fairly mild so far. But we got a nice little dusting of snow. It's actually quite pretty out right now.
Nice. Do you have to go to the office, or can you work from home? Or is
I
that, like,
am
normal?
I am working right now. To anybody that might know me and see me on here. Actually, you know what? I'm not actually Cody Mack at all.
Someone's throwing his voice.
That's not the Cody Mack you're thinking of.
I actually got offered a job to work in Edmonton in, I think it was about 90, 94, 95.
Yeah, but that's in North London.
Yeah.
Oh, to be honest with you, the minute I found out it was minus 30 in the winter, it was, I think I'll give that one a miss.
I think my flat gets to about minus 30 every day, to be honest. So that was one of the benefits of having COVID here. A fever for 3 days, I could just like walk around my house and without having to do anything because it's
You
so
keep your
cold.
heating
It
bill
cooled me
down, then.
Yeah, it's perfect place to be.
Yeah.
Adam, the title was a bit ironic. We obviously know we weren't very, very good yesterday, so
Yes.
just trying for a bit of clickbait to wind up some Chelsea fans. That's all it was for, Adam. See if we get any irate Chelsea fans on here.
And then put the link in the description so they can jump in.
Yeah. None of them have jumped in yet. Hello, Aaron.
Chelsea fans, come on.
Yeah, I don't think we could cope with any Chelsea fans on today, could we?
No.
Adam, Cody's beard is making the biggest comeback since Ajax. It's not. Are you allowed to grow it again, Cody, or has the wife already put the kibosh on that?
She's getting a little upset now.
She encouraging you to do more bets, like do some bets so you can shave it.
This is a little longer than I think her preference is, so she's already seeing, the potential for another record-breaking beard coming her way. But
and from your point of view, is it coming back, or are you going to trim it off?
I think I'll probably trim it this time. I will, yeah, just because Will Stewart, we had a little thing there when we played Wolves in the Carabao Cup. We put a bet on the game because he has been constantly rattling on about how Wolves have a better squad than Spurs do. So I said, okay, well, let's make a little friendly wager. Whoever loses, I'll take Tottenham, you take Wolves, and whoever loses has to shave their beard. So he had to end up shaving his beard, and it was hilarious. And then, of course, I finally got to the point where I needed to shave, and now he's been rubbing it in that his beard's longer than mine. And meanwhile, like I don't think I have anything left to prove in the beard growing world personally. Yeah. Like I think I've proven that I can grow a beard. So
been there, done that, and got the t-shirt.
I think
he looks exactly like Gary Doherty, didn't he, when he shaved his beard, the old Doc from the early 90s.
Yeah, Mari said he looked like Bob Dole. He found that a little bit offensive, so I'll remember that.
Like I was watching his stream last night, and he was like, I thought I was going to have to ring up like a suicide prevention. What he's like, if it were the last couple of weeks, I don't know if I can be bothered to carry on anymore. If it wasn't for you subscribers, the ones that pay the monthly fee, he goes, I'd have probably jacked in this stream by now. I was like, fucking hell, Will.
You know what? If you ever want to wind him up, just go on his channel and criticize Son Heung-min, because he just shed so many Son tears. He lived in Korea. He married a Korean. Son's his favorite player. So if you say anything bad, I mean, seriously, you can get him off on a 45-minute tangent just like that.
Did he admit on last night's stream that Son had a bad game, or was he still sticking to this?
He's never said a bad word about Son. I think he said that he wasn't great. But then he went on to explain how like everyone else was terrible, so Son gets a free pass.
Who's this Will? I don't. What show is that on?
Will Stewart.
Slammed by Alan. Who is this Will? Slammed.
Who is this Will? Alan wants to. Alan is
perfect. Yeah, perfect revenge, Alan, because he mentioned all his favourite streams last night, and he didn't mention us at all. So perfectly said, Alan. Who is this Will? This Will.
A lot of them come on, and I go on them, and I think I just can't get bothered. I just cannot get into it, and then I spend about 5 minutes on them. And some of them, as I say, I mean, this one I've got hooked on because of you, Jens, and Yeah.
Like a crap drug. Didn't speaking of
Definitely
Scott's
a drug.
comment, didn't
Was a
SofaScore
glue,
have
wasn't
Emerson Royale as the man of the match last night for us?
Who did?
They
SofaScore.
had Emerson as the man of the match against Watford, and they had Højbjerg as the man of the match.
last night. Last
Yeah.
night.
Yep.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think
Okay. That's-
interesting.
I don't know
a bit
what
weird.
planet. I don't know what planet he was on because I'll tell you something.
Listen, I'm not one to, just sort of unthinkingly criticize Højbjerg, but he was awful last night. He was awful last
Yeah,
night.
those SofaScore player ratings, they can just
I
be
mean-
inflated by the accumulation of touches and like
Uh,
Son takes corners, so he ends up with more crosses, so it kind of gets inflated a little bit. There's not a whole lot of context that goes. It's not like, if someone misses a gilt edge chance in the 90th minute, there's no way for them to kind of calculate that. There's not like a clutch factor that goes into that. So always use these along with SofaScore if you're into statistics.
Yeah,
well,
look at this.
True of all
Last
statistics.
night,
It's
last
true of all
night I felt so
statistics.
sorry
So
for Sanchez.
yesterday, sorry, Alan, just the record. I mean, like yesterday, I saw it on the BBC when they were doing the match report, and Davis scored an own goal, but there was nothing he could have done to avoid that. It was Tanganga that essentially led to him scoring an own goal, but pure stats will say that Davis was at fault for scoring the own goal when he wasn't. So yeah, you always have to apply the eye test to all statistics as well.
Well, my point on that exact time myself, Rez, was that if Højbjerg hadn't been as close to the action, Sanchez made a beautiful challenge on Lukaku, and it bangs off of Højbjerg straight back, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, Sanchez is bringing him down, free kick, second goal.
I don't think we should scoot past the fact that it all came from that crap 5-yard pass from Doherty when Ben Davies had overlapped him. All he had to do is put it into his path for a cross, and he hit a crap pass. Then they broke away on Sanchez, didn't they? So it all came from an easy pass from us being misplayed again. So both the goals came from shitty passes from us, didn't they? Really.
Yeah.
Yep. We've already started talking about it, but I'll put the team up for everyone to see. We go around. We probably cover most of the game by discussing the players. You get a nice easy one though. Let's start with our guest, Cody. Hugo, had you done a lot about it last night?
What are we doing? Player ratings, or just talking about the general performance?
General performance of the game. Yeah.
I mean, can't really blame them for either of the goals. No chance. I mean, even the own goal from Davies right into the corner. And Chelsea were really quite wasteful, for being honest. A lot of the shots that they had were just right into Hugo. He didn't have to move very much. They squandered a lot of chances. Lukaku had that glancing header that just missed the post. I really think, as much as we looked terrible, they really missed an opportunity to put us down, to give us the old Yeller treatment yesterday. Like, they left a little tiny crack. If we score an early goal next week, it's going to be an interesting second leg of this tie. But yeah, Hugo, he was fine. We were
saying in our group, weren't we? We can't win the tie tonight, but we can certainly lose it. But we nearly lost it in the first 45 minutes, didn't we? Took it up, amped it up a level completely.
We got away with it. We got away with it yesterday. We came away. It was Sorry,
we escaped.
Yeah,
it could be the escape of it to victory. Hopefully by next week. I doubt it, but
it's just it, isn't it?
That formation didn't work at all. I don't know. He was obviously going to go with his tried and tested formation. I think Adam is just trying to make as minimal changes as possible with the big players that we had out missing. Obviously, no designated left wing back and Dyer missing. So I guess he was trying to make as minimal changes as possible to the usual formation. But the guys that came in.
That's it.
But I know we didn't want to make a lot of changes, but what was stopping Tanganga going out on the left and playing Roden?
Yeah.
it was the fact that Lukaku would have been playing. So he needed Big Dave against Lukaku, didn't he? Without Dyer. So I guess Big Dave's task was to just man-to-man mark Lukaku, try and take him out of the game. He's the only guy that was strong enough and good enough in the air to take on that task,
And
wasn't
to
he?
be
Really?
fair,
He did all right, yeah.
We kept him relatively quiet. You know,
Yeah.
he didn't really. I think he had one real clear-cut chance at goal. One,
When
if that.
Davinson Sanchez has
Was
jumped.
that header?
when he did-
Was that header
yeah.
the one that just skimmed the post, as Cody said?
Yeah. So you know, in terms of if that was all just supposed to be Operation Shutdown Lukaku, it was actually mission accomplished. It was just the rest of it that was a bit dog shit.
Yes. Big Al, you get Emerson Royale.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, the first goal, I mean, Tanganga should have put him under the pressure that he did. I mean, he was being closed down. Surely Tanganga should have seen like Alonso coming onto him. And to be honest with you, I don't think he could do it. He weren't involved in the second goal. I mean, I don't think we got forward enough for him to be classed as a wing back yesterday. It was just literally back to the wall most of the time. I mean, I missed the first 5 minutes of the second half. Typical. As I got up here, the goalkeeper just saved Kane's free kick. So, but what I mean, put it this way: he put two crosses in. And one was literally just behind Doherty. So it was definitely a better cross than he'd done in Watford. And he put a crossover that on another day, Moura could have volleyed it low instead of putting it hot sky high in the stands. So, but
He had a job to get his foot up at that high anyway, didn't he? I don't think anyone else but Moura would have probably got their foot up that high anyway.
no. But
Basmeister General, you get
Yeah, Barry.
Tanganga. Yeah, you get Tanganga.
Basilford.
Basil for
Basilford.
himself. With his GI Joe haircut tonight.
I think
Army regulation.
I think well, based on the last few weeks, I was almost being able to tie it back, mate, like yours. So
Could do
yeah,
that.
I think yeah, it was his worst game in a Spurs shirt. I think from what we've seen, he looked like a rabbit in the headlights. He, the pass out to Royale, the header onto Davis, it just seemed like he was the occasion, not just him, but the occasion spooked a lot of them. And I think, I said it last night, we're playing in a semi-final, guys, and it looked like we just turned up and we've not won here in however many years, or once in however long, and it was like, let's just roll over and let them fuck us, basically. that was almost like what it was, because
Dyer missing was a big part of that.
Yeah, and who would
his
have thought
leadership and
we'd be sat here going,
organisational
Dyer was a big miss last night, but actually, him missing is almost taking Van Dijk out of Liverpool. That's how much of a difference that it made to Big Dave next to him, in the fact that whoever you had next to Dyer, is solid, but when Dyer's not there, Adam just, Adam makes a point there in terms of how many more semi-finals are we going to bottle, and it was Spursy again last night. It was just the chance for, Conte was going there. We should have been bang up for it and tried to do whatever we could to not put on that performance. And that first 45 minutes was the worst I've seen us play under, not just under Conte, but for a couple of seasons.
I don't think you can call us Spursy. I mean, on paper, they're much better than us. We're going away to their ground. We've got a terrible record. It was always going to be a tough ask. We didn't help ourselves, but I wouldn't say it was Spursy. It wasn't like a chance where we went there 50-50 and we bottled it kind of thing. I mean,
I think the result wasn't Spursy, but the manner in which the result came to pass was a little bit Spursy. Chelsea could have put 5 past us yesterday easily if they were added. We definitely didn't need to help them the way we did. But man, Tanganga, I'm so disappointed that we haven't handled his development correctly. You know, we're really doing him a disservice
No
by
favors.
not putting him out on loan somewhere. I think
Absolutely.
there was an opportunity to send him to the Turkish Super League last January and again in the summertime. And, you know, that first game against Man City, it looked like this might be his time to come of age. But since then, he's fallen down the pecking order at right back. And it's just not fair to be putting him in there once every 6 weeks and be playing in a game of this magnitude. But, you know,
we sent Cameron Carter-Vickers up to fucking Glasgow, right? And they now want to keep him, right? I'm not saying Cameron Carter-Vickers is a decent defender, but he's getting game time and he's developing to that level, and they want him now, right? Japhet Tanganga, if you're going to keep him, you need to put people in front of him that are going to basically mentor him and teach him and give him the lessons that he needs. He needs to be playing regularly in the smaller matches, right? You know, he's not a name on a piece of paper that you drag out when you need him, because he's got a career to thing. If you want him to be a decent footballer, you've got to develop him into one, you know?
As Cody said, it's unfair to just put him in every month, one-off games every month, and expect him to perform to the level that we need him to in those games. And then when we play the lesser teams, he doesn't get a look in, does he?
And all of this comes back to recruitment. All of it comes back to
like a rabbit.
You know,
and I think the other thing though, it comes down to Levy. We don't have the reinforcements, so we can't send him out on loan because we don't have anyone to
be sure. Yeah, exactly.
Be sure.
Yeah.
The perfect example of what we should have done with Tanganga is what we did with Skippy, and send him out on loan, get him to develop, and get him to come back and then be a regular. That's what
it's a fine balance, isn't it? Because development-wise, he might develop more having Conte there, training with him every day, and training him up more closely one-on-one with him in the camp rather than being out on tour. So it is a fine balance, isn't it?
You know, that's a little bit like if my grandmother had balls, she'd be my grandfather. You know, it's what ifs and stuff.
Too many what ifs.
Like, let me ask you this:
practice is to send a young player out on loan to develop.
Who was the last player that we successfully developed without sending out on loan?
Yeah, no one that I can think of off the top of my head.
Glenn Hoddle.
And we keep acquiring these players that are not finished articles. The likes of Emerson Royale, you could argue, isn't a finished article. Brian Hill is not a finished article. Jaffett's not a finished. Joe Roden, and then we bring these players in that need development. And then they're so far down in the depth chart that they don't get enough game time to actually develop their skills, and they actually get worse. The body pile it's starting to pile up here. I've always said one of the biggest problems at this club is the culture, and the development part of things is a big part of that. It's I was hoping that Paratici would be a welcome change to that, because he is if you look at his history at Juventus, before he took over for Giuseppe Murata in charge of like the greater picture, Juventus used to the loan market with Juventus. They were organizing dozens and dozens of loan moves every year for a period of about 5 years when Paratici was kind of in charge of scouting and development. And I was hoping that would be something that he brings. And it's early doors yet, so we don't know if that's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, we're just a talent graveyard, and we got nobody else to blame but ourselves.
And it's exactly what Chelsea do as well. Chelsea hoover up talent and send loads of them out on loan, charge loan fees for these players, so it's a source of funds as well. So again, the great businessman Daniel Levy has obviously missed this trick as well. Ultimately, it all boils down to recruitment. It all boils down to the hierarchy, that they are not serving the club properly. And we are left with this zombie squad. That's what it is. It's a squad of players on paper that's all they seem to look at. It's like, yes, we have these players in these positions. We have this and this and this. That's absolutely fine, without actually looking at the reality of it on the pitch, in that they're human beings. They're going to get injured. They need to develop. They will have careers that will end. We're not treating it organically, as if it's something that's fluid, and looking at it in a, I hate to use the term, holistic way, looking at it in the round, it's all stats and numbers and bits of paper. Almost.
I don't even think it's that though. I think we just we
maybe not
stink.
even that.
We stink at developing players.
Yeah.
You know what? A lot of people say, "Oh, we should have got Grealish. We should have got Bruno Fernandes." I'm not convinced that those players would have come here and been successful because of our talent and development and scouting and our culture here at this club. And you can see Conte's fighting it right now. Like, look at the way this guy is talking in his interviews. I mean, he's looking around like, I'm
what the hell is this?
I'm sure he had no idea the scale of the job, the task at hand. He's looking around at some of these players thinking, oh, I didn't realize that this is the way that it was around here, you know, like players like Dele Alli and Tanguy and Ndombele just strolling around without a care in the world. It's he's up against it right now, and the clock's ticking.
And it must make him think, where do I start? Where do I start?
It does explain what he said yesterday, in that the problems of this club aren't going to be solved in the transfer market. You know, which a lot of people took to mean that, oh, Levy's shut the purse strings. I mean, he may well have done anyway, but our problems are more than just our personnel.
Did anybody else have red lights flashing in their eyes when he said that stuff? Like, how is it that a guy who's on an 18-month contract is sitting here saying that the problems are so big that they can't be solved in January, which all of us know that is fact. And he's preaching for patience and time. Motherfucker doesn't have patience and time. He's got 18 months. He's got 3 transfer windows to get this right, you know?
And it looks like they're bombing off the first one.
Hugely alarming. Hugely alarming.
Yep.
Which brings us on nicely to Rez. You get to sum up Big Dave's performance last night. Davinson Sanchez.
In a collectively bad performance, he was as good as the others. That's as much as
bad as the others.
Yeah, you know, he was one of a group of players who did not play well. You know, there was nothing egregious about anything he did, but there was nothing outstanding about anything he did either, really, that was outside, above and beyond. Or there was nothing in any of their performances, apart from maybe Mora's, to suggest that they were playing in a semi-final against one of our biggest rivals.
That incident where he gave away the free kick for the second goal, that pretty much summed him up, didn't it? As a perfect summary in one movement of tackling the guy.
You know what? This is the thing that I'll say. This is what I'll say, is that every defender, every player will make mistakes, right? No one ever has a perfect game, right? And we've seen that Davinson is capable of playing a game without making ridiculous things like that, and he's been doing okay, right? Recently. Yesterday was just, there was nothing outstanding about anything he did. Even his mistake was not a howler. It was just a mistake, a defensive mistake, in the same way that Tanganga's mistakes were just really mistakes that were just disastrous in their outcome. You know, there was nothing. You know, if you want to give him a score, you'd give him a 5 in terms of it's halfway, and then drop a couple of points because of the result. You know, so he gets a 3 out of 10, but none of the other players scored much more than that, in my view.
I was going to... There he is. He's back. Colin, welcome to the show. It's your first time on.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
I'm sure you are.
we don't have any fancy introduction music or anything.
We can do it if you want. We can recreate Eugene's music. There you go.
Do I have to like take off my shirt or anything? Am I supposed to like? I don't know what this is supposed to be.
No, Cody's saying no.
Colin, you can if you want,
but I don't have to. Am I being paid? Am I being
no?
Thank us in goals, Colin. Thank us in goals. Your first introduction to the show, and you get to talk about Ben Davies, Gentle Ben. How did you think Gentle Ben played last night?
Well, I mean, it was just such a bad defensive unit last night. It's hard, really, for me to like collect, or to individually, I guess, to paint their performance as anything. You know, it was just such a cluster collectively that I can't really pull it apart individually and tell you how I think. I mean, I think, hey, listen, since Conte's been here, I've been one of I call him Gentle Ben, as you guys do. I've been one of his biggest. You know, I've been singing his praises, you know, loud and proud. And but yeah, it was just so bad defensively as a whole last night. I mean, Doherty on the left side of, you know, as a left wing back. Like, what? I don't know. I just feel like the entire defense was sort of set up to fail. There were no real leaders out there, and he should have been the leader, I guess. You know, out of everyone, he was the senior player.
He was the only one. He was the only one actually geeing the others up, seemingly. You saw him shouting at him.
Brian Daigle said that from inside the stadium. He was the only one trying to organise and trying to encourage them after they made the mistakes and stuff. But the others, they were kind of avoiding eye contact with him and just, you know, rabbits in the headlights kind of thing, unfortunately.
I just feel like, is it fair to say, and maybe you guys, I jumped in late. Sorry about that too. I fell asleep. But
How very dare you?
So, is it fair to say Conte maybe got the defense wrong? I mean, I know he didn't have a whole lot of options. You know, it was said that Reggie might have had a hamstring injury, but I don't know. Do you guys think that maybe there could have been a better way to line up that defense than what we had, because it just looked like it just fundamentally wasn't working?
I think he's one for people deserving to play as well from their performances in training and their attitude and stuff. So obviously Tanganga was the next cab off the rank. More so, he's obviously been getting his head down and working better than Rodon in training. And we obviously considered that Lukaku was going to be marked by Sanchez. So the next cab on the rank was Tanganga, I think. They didn't really have a lot of options at left wing back, did he?
No.
They did sound the commentary last night in the UK that Doherty apparently had a whole season at Wolves playing left wing back, and he obviously plays there for Ireland as well. I'm sure Aaron and will tell us in the comments there, and the other Irish, Adam as well. He does play on the left sometimes for Ireland, doesn't he? Left wing back, so he can play there. Yeah, but it was the whole of that back eight aren't really that comfortable on the ball and passing and controlling a game of football, are they? So.
Who would have thought we'd be in a world where we missed Eric Dyer so much? You know, that I think says everything without saying anything. We shouldn't be in a position where Eric Dyer not being able to play a match hamstrings us so bad.
I think that Rory guy that runs the Chelsea podcast, he had some Tottenham fans on, and one of them was saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to miss Eric Dyer," and he said, "Just listen to yourselves. That shows what trouble you're in when you're actually saying that you're going to miss Eric Dyer." Yeah, that's how far you've fallen.
See, Rory Bellend, right, can shut the fuck up, right? This guy winds me up like you wouldn't believe, right? He sits there with his fucking floppy hairdo, right, and thinks he's somebody, right, because he happens to be a plastic who supports a club that has purchased all its success in recent times, right? So
and then loaned everybody else out to, you know,
and then has a go at Spurs because we don't spend as much money because we don't have some oil thief as our owner. Right, and then he puts himself on a high horse and thinks that he can judge us on it. Right, so as far as I'm concerned, Rory, go fucking jump off a building, okay, and never come back.
Are we on to
I'm pleased I mentioned it.
Tell us how you really
feel. Early for your rest.
Fucking hate that guy. I really do hate that guy. Okay, I wouldn't have done him if he was on fire.
I just really want to say too, very quickly before, and I know I'm kind of break on the third wall here maybe, but Cody Mack, it's nice to see you, man. I'm glad that the beard is okay. I'm glad that, you know, it's been a while since I've seen your face, and then you know, I'm glad you're doing good, man. I'm coming for you though in the beard game, just to let you know. The red beard, it's coming for you.
Ginger beards don't count.
Ow. You really know how to cut to the core of me, man.
Oh, just kidding. You're beautiful too.
Is this part of your Bob Funkley routine is coming back? Is it? You got to grow out for that.
What is this? Is this some North American beardy loving or something?
Maybe.
I don't want to get in Rez's way right now, man. He's on.
I know. No one should get in front of the Rez train right now.
Rez, before you just look, hey, bald men forever, right? Like you and me, we're same team.
Always.
Oh God. Kuva, what's up, man?
Kuva, how you going, man? It was all going so well, wasn't it? Until the referee blew that whistle. It started going down. I did say in our WhatsApp group, looking at the team, I can't see how we're going to pass out from the back with Sanchez, Davis and Tanganga.
Yeah.
We're just going to have to go. We're going to have to go long to Kane, aren't we? And literally the first 2 balls in the game, long.
Tanganga has shown that he's one of those players that you can get into his head. Other teams know that they can do that if they target him specifically. He's got a mistake in him, and he's also got you can force him into playing rash and making a mistake that way. And I don't know. It's a shame. Whatever's happening with Joe Rodon, I wish we'd just get him out if we're never gonna play him, because he looks fairly calm and composed. He looks pretty good when he plays for Wales, and so obviously him and Ben know each other. It's just I don't know.
Ali Gold said that he's suffering from some kind of rib injury, that he in a pinch he could have played yesterday, but it would have been a little irresponsible to start him. But I don't know if I buy that. Like, this guy has just been ghosting since he showed up, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Does it seem to anyone else that it might be just an attitude issue? Because he does have a bit of a reputation of being a bit of a rebel. I've heard rumors that he's missed COVID testing and been caught.
I know Sam, his brother, is a party boy, a big old party boy, and it wouldn't surprise me if he was too. And I know that it's been said that Conte's had to stop telling the players sometimes what time training is going to be, because they'll fly out to Paris and fly back, and just in time to make it back to training, and he's had to literally stop telling them what time training is, so that they can't do that anymore. And he'll tell them like the day of exactly what time to be there, so that they can't keep doing this. And I wonder, I'm speculating, it's obviously speculation, I don't know a thing, but I just wonder if maybe he's part of that camp. Maybe Dele Alli's gotten his ear a little bit or something, or maybe he's just more interested in the London and partying scene than he is the football right now.
He was obviously part of the Welsh mafia with Gareth Bale, and he had famously had the fallout with Mourinho, so that wouldn't have endeared him to the club that well. I don't think they were that impressionable.
Well, that was it. There was rumors that he's got a bit of a big mouth on him.
Sam's kind of a plot. I'll tell you that for sure, just from Twitter. Like, he's responded to a couple of my tweets before, so we're basically best friends. And so we're like this. And Sam likes to have a good time, and I can only agree that, only imagine, I guess, that.
Jens and Gary Stevens are Twitter besties, aren't they? Jens is trying to get Gary Stevens on the podcast, but.
Oh man, I heard Steve Perryman was on Kuva's podcast.
Friday, isn't it, Kuva? I think you can put in the comments. I think he's watching the 1974.
Congratulations! That's quite an accomplishment. That's going to be
final, I believe.
Don't want to miss that.
Will tell us.
Definitely one of the old heroes.
Love Steve Perryman. I'm actually thinking of writing a book at the moment, because I've been listening to a lot of the Steve Perryman podcasts, and in a lot of when he's guests and stuff, he drops out these little gems about what Bill Nicholson's old sayings and stuff, and it got me thinking about what is the Tottenham way, and bringing through the history and the tradition of the club. And the only way that I can sort of tend to sort of
talk about playing with heart, though. Jesus, we need some of that right now.
So I've been over the last 2 years, I've been making notes. So every time Steve Perryman tells these little stories about Bill Nicholson, so I was thinking about writing a book called The Tottenham Way, and just start asking Perryman about.
With Perryman, in them days, football was about football. Now it's about how much money can I earn. There was a bond in the early days when I used to go. There was always a bond. They all played badly or they all played well, but there was always a bond. You never had news reports that this man had just gone over this and done this and done that. It was professional. They were professionals. They played 42 games a season. They played FA Cup games. They played League Cup games, and they never got a bloody break. This lot can't. This lot, they look. They look knackered.
Famously, one of the 60s players, Alan, said that when Juan de Ramos's team were kind of, disintegrated a bit. And they asked one of the 60s players about what was going on, why there was no harmony in the squad. And he said something along the lines of, what I heard is they don't even drink together. So he was like, from those days, they used to bond and, all get together and hang out together.
Yeah, they were mates outside of the football as well. I mean, and that's how it should be. Shoot, like I played in high school and then on some club teams, at that same age level. But I will tell you, the closest and the best teams I was ever on were the ones where I was the closest and the most tight knit, like with my fellow teammates. And so, yeah, I think there's something to be said about that. So yeah, that makes tons of sense to me.
As I said on I think it was my first time I joined you. When we used to go to the away games, we used to try and get back to the White Hart pub in Tottenham, and you can guarantee 5 or 6 players would walk in sometime that evening before the pub closed. Yeah. And if it had closed, she would still let them in because they were the Spurs players, And no, they don't drink, do they? They're just there's no bonding.
I mean, the one thing I'll say, this is the thing that I will say, right, with regard that shift, is that those sportsmen have had to become more professional than that, right? In terms of looking after themselves, alcohol affects the human body quite seriously, and when you're exerting yourself, I mean, the great Jimmy Greaves story, or my favorite Jimmy Greaves story, is the one about how Bill Nicholson would go around the dressing room after a match and sort of rub each player's shirt as it was hanging up to see how hard they'd worked, right? And he would always leave Jimmy Greaves's shirt till last so he could dry his hands, right? Now, that at that time, a player that they never pushed to the limits of the human body, or certainly not to the extent that they do now. They really are, they're far more. There's far more science and numbers and thinking and science behind it, and so they still do, but them going to the pub after a game, them having a fag at half time, which is the stuff that used to happen. I mean, there's a famous picture of Jimmy again, sat at half time in the dressing room with a cup of tea and a fag, a cigarette for our North American watchers. And that is different, right? But to go along with that, what they should be better at in replacement for doing it for the fans is being able to turn that intensity on at less notice, to know you're stepping on the pitch and you now have to do that thing of pushing yourself to the edge of that limit, and some players have done that and it's cost them, right? Christian Eriksen is the perfect example of that, right? He pushed himself to the limit. That is probably what
caused
what happened to him, right? These players know where their limits are because they've been told, and they should push it. And I didn't see that last night. That doesn't necessarily need a connection with the fans. The connection with the fans helped before it was so professional. But now that they have other means in which they can show intensity, and they're not. And that, for me, is a major problem.
Well, put it this way, Billy Nick wouldn't have got his hands wet at all last night, would he? On any of them shirts?
No.
No.
Maybe opting Genghis just because of how much he was probably pissing himself just for those mistakes. I'm sure. Hey, he's Tottenham born and bred. He's more Tottenham than me. And I'm sure that he was thoroughly upset with his performance last night. I know that it's easy to be extremely critical of him, but we also have to remember the good games that he's had as such a young player for Spurs. I think it's easy to single him out, but I think that the entire defense I think let us down. The entire team.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Kane's tweet? What did you guys make of Kane's tweet where he said, "We paid the price for a poor first half"? I don't know. It's very rare that we see Kane like legit just calling out the team like that, or at least he's usually a professional performance, on to the next one, or something to that effect. But this time he legit was, said we didn't do it in the first half, and we paid the price, and so I don't know. I just don't want to get on Tanganga too bad, because I do think there's a player there, and I think that it's our fault as a team for relying on such a young kid that hasn't done it at a high level to do it at this high level. And I don't.
He shouldn't have been put in that position in the first
throw
place.
him in for one-off games,
high-profile
games,
and that's not me having a go at Conte either.
I mean, you're allowed to have a little bit of a go at Conte. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I hear how
Conte did it because he had to.
Right.
He had to.
But Conte is allowed to. Everyone always, in Conte we trust, and I don't know about this player, but if Conte wants him, then I'm behind him, and I get all that. I really do. But Conte is allowed to make mistakes. He's not like God. You know what I mean?
But yesterday was, even if it was an error to play Tanganga or to play with that defense, ultimately it was the only defense.
His hand was forced a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, the only possible difference, realistically, he could have played yesterday was to put Reggie on left wing back and maybe not played Emerson and played Doherty on right wing back, because that's the state of our squad.
Yeah.
So it's a forced error from Conte. The unforced error, again, I come back to it, is with our hierarchy that hasn't equipped our club with a squad that can do even the basics, and has undermined morale and turned that thing into essentially a bunch of zombies.
This was an interesting topic of discussion last night on Will's channel, and one of the points that was made was that basically our squad is not sculpted to Conte's system, and that Conte should be making adjustments and whatnot. I don't really buy into that. Conte has proven that he is one of the best managers in world football when he's given. He's not even a typical money manager. He doesn't go out and buy big name players. Why should he go and make changes to his formation, his tried, tested, proven 5-time league champion in the last 7 years philosophy?
Yeah, but Cody, he's had to, because he's come in before the transfer window. If he'd been with us over the summer, I can understand your argument. But he's had to come in and take on what we've got. He can't do anything with something he hasn't got. You know what I mean?
the transfer window's been open 5 days now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, here's for me, it's Conte's saying, this is how I want to win. This is how I want to win at Spurs. Here are the tools applied in the manner that I want to win. Here are the inadequacies of the squad for everyone to see, right? I'm not about to go, because he made a lot of changes yesterday that were very interesting, subbing on Ndombele for Doherty at halftime. Very aggressive change. He actually went for it in the second half, and that's something that we've lacked in a manager over the last couple of years. But for me, it's just a clear message to the hierarchy of this club that there needs to be changes if I'm going to be successful. That's what he's showing us.
Yeah. I agree with you there.
Well, I don't want him making changes. I don't want him to change the formation to something that he doesn't believe is the best way to win football matches.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
Well, when we finished second, the season we finished second with Poch, we played a 3-4-2-1. The season we played with
4-3-2-1.
Pretty much with Dyer dropping in between Jan and Toby.
He
dropped in between them.
That's why
the formation
But I mean,
would shift between the offensive and defensive phase.
But ultimately, what you're saying, Cody, is absolutely bang on the money. This man has made a success of playing a particular system. It has been shown to work in multiple places at multiple clubs. Why should he be required to change?
we have to conform to him. He doesn't have to
Exactly.
conform to, like, it's never going to work
Exactly.
if he tries to just work
Yeah.
with these turds. He's not
Yeah.
a turd polisher. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
And
I totally
that's the
agree with
point.
that.
You've got to, and if as what you're saying, Alan, that okay, he's come in before having the opportunity of a transfer window. Once the transfer window opens, you then start doing something to give him the tools that he needs. Otherwise, why hire him?
Thing is, this
Yeah.
this is Antonio Conte, okay? This is a man who is committed to winning above all else. That doesn't really fly with what Spurs have been all about if you start at the top and come down over the last 20 years. That's never really been the priority. The priority is to build the infrastructure to make the money machine, and then winning will come. This guy, he didn't even sit around and wait for Inter Milan to sell some of the best players. As soon as it was made clear that some of their best players were out the door, he was out of there off the back of winning the league title. So, yeah, there's no way that he's going to sit around and say, well, maybe I should think about, changing the formation that gives us the very best chance to hang in the game with the crap that we have. No, we need to back this man right now.
Essentially, we can't do what Nuno did.
No. But officially, we can't approach players. We can't approach players outside the window. So what I'm saying,
come on, agents talk, don't they?
Yeah, agents
you've
talk,
got months. The worst thing is, Alan, how long have we known that we needed a backup striker for Kane?
So
that should be in place, ready to do on the 1st of January. Get it sorted, get it done.
The point is,
Vlahovic, and he ain't ready. He ain't available.
The point is, it's the 6th of January, and we were talking about this. Oh, it's only the 1st of January. It's only the 2nd of January. It's the 6th of January, and nothing's happening. And nothing's going to happen.
What do we do? At some point, we say, "Oh, it's still the 20th of January. There's still 11 days to go. It's still the 20th of January. There's still 6 days to go."
Yeah,
it's not gonna. It's not. At the end of the day, nothing is going to happen. I can't see. Nothing happens normally in January anyway. But nothing is going to happen now, and we've then lost the transfer window. Okay, it's the one that we'd rather have 2 summers in a January rather than 2 Januaries in the summer with Conte. But we're then gonna, ultimately we're gonna go through next week, then playing Arsenal, then playing Chelsea again, and you could see it could be the end of the month could come, no players, and Conte walks. Genuinely, and then where are we? We're
just a quick one before you carry on, Nick. Cody, you're heading back to work. Is there anything you want to plug before you leave?
No.
I didn't think you would, but I thought I'd better give you the opportunity because that's how well-mannered us English people are, you see.
Try genuine Canadian beaver meat.
Try it now.
No, take care, guys. I got to at least pretend to work for a while. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Very good to see you, Cody. Very good to see you, man.
All right. We all know the only reason he's really going back to work is because Doherty's next on the list. Look, and he didn't really want to talk about Doherty.
I don't blame him.
Who wants Doherty? Hands up, anyone?
Can I say something controversial?
Sorry, I've just got to go somewhere quickly.
Go on, Colin.
I don't think Doherty was that bad. I don't think Doherty was nearly our worst player yesterday. So I mean, and that's saying something. Playing slightly out of position.
He did fuck up for that second goal, didn't he? Like that simple 5-yard ball down to Davis on the overlap. He didn't even do that right, and then that exposed us to the counter attack.
No, but you're right. But I mean, I think asking him to play in a position that's not exactly his own, and then he could have done a lot worse. He showed a lot more. I know that heart and passion are two kind of cliches that get thrown around, but he had more than some players that I thought were more Tottenham than him, and so it's really hard for me to gauge his performance objectively without and actually Scott's 100% right. I know that I'll be doing that myself. I'm guilty of that, but it's really hard for me to effectively to gauge Doherty's performance completely objectively because he just looked like he cared more than so many of the other players out there, and that goes a long way with me. Do you guys agree that at least it looked like he gave a shit? He was busting a gut to get back. He was I think he played. I think the defensive side of his game wasn't wasn't so bad. But maybe I'm watching it through lily white tinted glasses. Maybe I wasn't. I've been stuck in a hotel room for a couple of days, so I've been drinking in here. Maybe I was hitting the bottle.
raiding that mini bar.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there's no one you can point to and say they had a good game yesterday.
Hugo maybe, but I mean,
not a
Hugo
good
maybe.
game. I think the only ones that come
Not
out
good
of any
game.
credit were Lucas Moore and Skip and Hugo probably.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
but I think asked to play in a position that he doesn't always play in. I think that he put in a solid shit. I know this is a solid, but 6 out of 10 maybe. Could we say that he maybe put in a 6 out of 10 performance?
I don't think with the result any of them deserve more than 5.
Okay, I mean that's very fair. But
coming round to you then, Alan, you get Skip, who I say was probably one of the better players.
Yeah,
he got taken off.
He was one of the better players. He tried to chase the ball down, but as I said, they just seem to me. They just seem to be put. When you see training clips, you see players passing it. They do the quick passing, one touch pass. Chelsea just done it round us all night. I mean, Chelsea, as I say, Skip done the job, but yeah, again, he was just being passed around. As Rez said, to be honest with you, apart from Mora and possibly Hugo, it's very hard to judge any of them last night because I don't think any of them really put a shift in.
That was what was so impressive in that Liverpool and Chelsea game when it was all that one-touch football, moving it at such pace around the corner.
Exactly.
And then we were against Watford, taking 2 and 3 touches, labouring over, getting crosses in and stuff. And I thought we might struggle.
And they're pressing the shit out of us. The way you beat the press,
and there was no counter press. There was no counter press from us. There was none.
Exactly.
None.
It was so poor.
I cannot believe that Conte, seeing the way he plays, seeing the way that he moves the ball, his teams move the ball up the pitch so quickly, so rapidly, has not tried to get these players to do that. Why are they not doing it? Why are they still? I am driving myself nuts. I'm driving myself nuts on this. Trap, look, pass. Trap, look, pass. For God's sake, play the ball.
Yeah. And when we did play it, it was just completely to one of their players. It was. I mean, I see the argument on Twitter. Why the hell was Skip taken off instead of Højbjerg? And I can 100% agree.
Saving him.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you, though. I mean, I think that Højbjerg needs to sit. I wondered if we got Kessie or Kessier. I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name. I'll be completely honest, but Kessier. I've been a big I haven't been arguing against that signing, but I've been saying, well, where does that put Højbjerg? It puts him on the bench sometimes, and that's fine. And the more I think about it, that's not a bad thing. He's got heart. Yeah, he's got passion. I keep saying those 2 words. I'm sorry, but that's not enough sometimes.
You've got to have. That's the trouble, though. Not enough players nowadays, though, Colin, have got the heart. They just got what's in my bank. It's football.
Down below.
But the thing that I would say, do you know what the counter to that, Alan, is? Do you know what the counter to that is? The counter to that is, well, why do they show passion, intensity, and heart when they play for Chelsea, when they play for Liverpool, when they play for Man United, when they play for Arsenal, when they play for Burnley, when they play for Norwich? Why is it that only the ones that play for Spurs seem not to do that?
Poor recruitment.
Poor
recruitment, not doing due diligence on the characters of players.
And and that's one thing I loved about Poch was that if Poch couldn't get a player that fit the way that he wanted them to think, to behave, he wouldn't sign him. He would take no one instead. And we all hated those. We all hated those times where we didn't sign those windows where we didn't sign anyone.
Although Colin, he brought in Underbelly, and he also brought in the Celso.
And I guess the only argument there is that he thought that he personally could get something out of those guys, and maybe he could have, and maybe whenever he left, they sort of lost sight of the vision or lost sight of the plan. It's very hard to say. It's really hard to look back at time. I can't do it very well, honestly. It's very hard for me to do.
Yeah.
But
they lost sight of it before Poch left. That's why he ended up being sacked, because they just stopped.
But I do think, don't you guys think Poch had and not in a bad way, but Poch had an ego. Poch had a pretty big ego, and I think that he thought he could do it. He always said if he had Musa Dembele, whenever he was younger, if through his prime, that he could have made him a absolutely world-class player. And I think he saw it in Ndombele. He saw what Ndombele could do, skill-wise, and he thought, I can mold this guy's attitude. I can mold his performances. I can make him into that world-class player I wanted. And then maybe other managers didn't have as much time for him, didn't have
and then Ndombele arrives and we actually see what kind of player, what kind of character he actually is.
And I don't know, and I still can't. I don't know. That guy still has something special, but maybe France or Italy is the league for him.
Yeah, a lot slower pace.
I can't see him doing very well in Italy because they're quite disciplined with fitness and nutrition and everything, aren't they? So I don't think Italy's is the place for him, really. That's probably that might be why he's resisting going to AC Milan. Yeah. He doesn't. He's going to be in for another 2 years of getting beasted and actually having to run and not eat burgers and stuff.
Although he's happy, he says that he say that Bayern Munich was one of the places that he wanted to go.
Yeah.
If he doesn't like Italian fitness levels, he'll die in Germany.
Yeah. Oh no, but Rez, don't the Bundesliga only have don't they have 4 less fixtures a year? So
but in terms of training, styles, in the Bundesliga, they focus on fitness a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. That's why it's so often compared, I think, to the Premier League, and why we're so keen to loan players out to the Bundesliga.
Well, we have. I think it's only Hugo out of the whole
style.
It's only Hugo really out of the French players we've signed that's really ever been any kind of success.
I'll never forget. Oh my God! I just said I would never forget. And now I can't remember if it was NG or if it was
Nkudu
who put in that cross for Harry Winks to head in. I almost said I'll never forget that assist, and I already forget who it was.
George Kevin Nkudu, yeah. About the only thing he did.
Also, let's not forget Steve Malbranque. He was French.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Apologise.
He was kind of a hard dude. I
apologise to the French nation for forgetting Steve Malbranque.
I was saying to
I wouldn't fight Steve Malbranque for $100.
Isn't it amazing how we used to sing Steed all the time every time we got the ball, Steed, and then one day that was the last time, without you realising that it was the last time that you'd be saying Steed, and then all these years later we're like, oh shit, we haven't been singing Steed every week. Steed,
you're gonna make me cry, man. Don't do that.
You don't really hear anything from him, do you?
Yeah.
No, that guy just quietly retired.
Where he went to after us? Where did he go to after us?
Sunderland. Rez, you on the case?
I will find out.
Whilst Rez looks that up, Nick, you get Højbjerg, so don't upset Jens. Jens is watching.
Well, first of all, I think Jens is a prick. So
getting revenge,
hey, I'm gonna be the drunk one on the show since Jens isn't here. Working on that. So.
And second of all, I think Højbjerg is a prick for his performance last night. So that about sums it up. No, I mean, look, I think the thing that we found out over the last 4 to 6 weeks is that Højbjerg isn't as good as he looked last season. Skip's come in and actually, with the dire effect, Skip is for me ahead of Højbjerg 100% on the team sheet. And to say something controversial, I don't think Ndombele played that bad when he came on yesterday. He certainly played better than Højbjerg.
He held the ball up great. A couple of specific moments I can think of.
And his application was good. His tricks and flicks weren't coming off the one time.
Yeah, he'd been watching Dele Alli try and do some tricks and flicks, and he was trying to copy him. But yeah, I think I just think he needs some. Højbjerg needs a break. He needs a rest. And like Colin was saying, we need Kessié or someone else to come in and actually having Højbjerg on the bench is not a bad thing, because actually to come on and have that 20 minutes, half an hour here to make an impact of the game is going to be more than he's had an impact on the last 3 or 4 games, if I'm being totally honest. So we can say he's tired, we can make excuses, but I think something came up in my memories. How can a guy on a Sunday work all week, 80 hours plus, go out and get pissed on a Friday and Saturday night, and he can rock up and pour his heart out on a football pitch. But these guys can't. So I don't want to start going into the players and having a go at the players. But like Alan was saying about, you know, that they've got the bank account, they've got all of this, but they need to, you know, they really need to just look at what they've got and how fortunate they are. And I think at the moment, a lot of them are still in the mold where, well, actually, they've been there. Poch's gone, Mourinho's come and gone, Nuno's come and gone, Conte's on an 18-month contract. If they don't sign him, they're probably thinking, "Oh, he'll be gone by February."
Yeah, they're the long-term fixers, not the managers. They're the ones that seem to have their spot guaranteed, not the manager. They're the ones that don't have something to prove. It's the manager. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
And I still think obviously we got rid of Aurier. We got rid of Musa, who had a massive influence in the dressing room, and how he can make the guy a captain after being at a club for like 2 weeks or whatever he was at Watford is beyond me. But
we knew that he was an influential character.
Yeah. But we've still got, for a long time I was sat there and LJ will say the same things before, where there was still a hope with Dele Alli, with me. There was still a hope. There was still a hope. And, I still, he has that one good game against Liverpool and you think, right, come on, just get, we're not asking you to go and bang 20 goals a season like you were doing for under Poch. 10 would just be even amazing. But just if he could just get his head out from his arse and stop dyeing his hair, all the silly colours. We've got a player there that, we've got a player that.
Mate, can I ask you a question? And I hate to cut you off. I'm being a prick. And I'm really sorry. I'm super sorry. Do you think that the hair dyeing and stuff that all of us are getting on Dele for? Do you think that's beside the point? Do you think if he was playing good football, that all of that would just be swept under the rug? Like, yes. I don't think that has much. I don't think they really correlate really much with each other. I think that he could be playing bad football, regardless of if he had the same buzz cut he had when he first came. You know what I mean? I just think that it's easy to pinpoint those things. And like I said, I'm not picking on you. I pick on everybody who points that out. I just think that maybe we're being a little tiny bit too hypercritical of every decision that the boy makes. When in reality, it's the fact that he's a one-dimensional footballer who does one thing and he makes late runs into the box. And he wasn't a known commodity before he came into our team. The Premier League did not know how to defend him because they did not know how he played. And once he was then figured out, I think that he's a lot easier to defend. He's a lot easier to nullify. I don't think it has or much to do with his hair or the dumb TikTok videos he makes. Football robs a lot of these kids of their childhood, really. They spend a lot of their younger formative years playing ball and being men whenever they are boys, really, at heart still. And now he's got money.
I'm not justifying it.
He didn't come from money. He's got it now. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe he's a little flashy. Maybe he's a little.
I'm not justifying it. I'm not justifying it, but I can explain it. It's because he has disappointed us, and so we will then latch on to anything that we find irritating.
I get that. I get that too. I'm a human being. Like it's sort of in the same. Weirdly, if you flip it, it's the same as what I always said. If Kane starts banging in goals, I'll forget all of the summer shit. I'll forget all of his escapades. I'll forget all of his wanting to leave. I'll forget all of the Florida shit. I'll forget it if he just starts playing like he used to. So I'm the same. I'm the same way. I'm just saying that maybe we're being a tiny bit too hypercritical of the haircuts and one strand accidentally being red or whatever, or you know what I mean. Like it's not. He's not a closet Arsenal fan. He's not. You know what I mean. Like I legit do think
he's an actual Liverpool fan.
He is. No, yeah. If Steven Gerrard would have been awake for that meeting they were supposed to have together, he'd probably be at Liverpool right now, or have gone on to somewhere else because Liverpool know when to sell a player when their value is high. But it's yeah. I just think that latching on to all of his stupid faults are like yeah. Let's just talk about his shit football because
footballers have got a lot of downtime, haven't they? They don't do a lot in the afternoons. They got only work in the mornings, and they got all afternoon.
And I think also
his daughter and whatever.
Like you were saying, Colin, it's about the people that are surrounding him, right? They need to be the ones, and the club again. It comes down to the culture of the club to allow that to happen. Potentially under Poch, potentially the next best England midfielder for years to come, and it's just fallen away. And ultimately, the club has played their part in that because they've allowed it to happen. And that comes back. That comes back to the culture as well.
Agreed. I think he should be. I think he should be watched closer. I think he should. I think they should put. Okay, so I think it should have been not a good sign. Wow, sorry, a terrible sign when him and Dyer had their sort of falling out, maybe, because Dyer has been professional always. It seems like Dyer grew up, and Dele did not. And Dyer was like, you know what? I don't want to really have much to do with you because I'm making a step in my life. You are not. And it's just little things, but Dyer's gardening, his love of art, his it's things like that make him like a well-rounded human being, and I think that's important to have in your squad. And I think that the fact that he was so easy to he was so ready to let go of Dele should have been a sign that maybe Dele wasn't heading in the right direction. And I don't know much about the family that I can't even remember their names, but I used to know. But that brought Dele through. You know what I mean? But
hey Jens. First of all, you call me a prick, and I don't talk enough. Then when I'm talking, that's not good enough. Then I'm nodding along and agreeing, that's not good enough. So
Jens,
just get in here, Jens.
Guys, everyone
Jens,
on three. Everyone on three. 1, 2, 3.
Prick.
Love you, Jens.
Jens, I'm sorry what I said about Højbjerg, but he was a prick last night. So
Jens, Scott M wants you on screen to find out if you're going to defend Pierre-Emile Højbjerg after last night. So
once the little ones go to sleep, man, we can't wait to have you on, buddy.
Yeah, Scott's waiting with bated breath. Scott's also waiting for bated breath with the next player on our list, which for you, Rez, is Scott's hero.
Oh, of course, Scott.
Lucas Moura.
It's not just Scott's hero. I know. I have been told that Scott has a shrine to Lucas.
Where did Lucas hurt? Where did he touch you? Just point to the doll. Where he got you.
Yeah. No. Before we do that, though, I just wanted to go back to the player that we mentioned, a certain Steve Malbronk, right? Who, after he played for Spurs, he did indeed go on to play for Sunderland, and in actual fact played 40 games more for Sunderland than he did for us.
No way.
And then after that, continued his career, and in fact is still playing at a club called FC Limonest Saint-Didier in France, which is in the French 5th tier.
He's still playing.
And he is still playing at the age of 42. And do you know how I know he's still playing at the age of 42?
Go on.
Because it's his birthday today.
No way.
Ooh, happy birthday.
How freaky is that?
So a big happy birthday to the legend that is Steve Malbronk, I think.
Still playing. Impressive.
He was. So when I first got into Spurs, I got a hold of some older FIFA games. I didn't have tons of money back then. I got a hold of some older FIFA games, and he was in the starting 11, and that was my introduction to him. And so I still have fond memories. I still have fond memories of him in my FIFA squad. So happy birthday, Mr. Malbronk.
And he didn't do bad for us. He scored 6 goals in 62 appearances, which is not bad
for a player in that position. Yeah, not bad
from midfielder. And
any player that scores against Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly. And he only scored 1 for Sunderland in 102 performances for them, appearances for them. Then he went to Saint-Etienne and played once. Then he played for Lyon for 93 games. So this would have been 2012. He was in his 30s, still playing for Lyon. Then he went to Caen, then to another club, and then he's now playing in the 5th tier. And it's his birthday, so yeah, happy birthday!
I think we should all support Steed's team in the 5th tier of France. What are they called?
FC Limonest Saint-Didier.
I think we should have a weekly update. How did they get on this week?
I'll forget that one.
I also think that we should also throw some coin in for Kuba's upcoming stand-up comedy career. I think that Kuba, we need to get you behind the mic, big man. I think that you've got the talent. We need to support you and maybe a chance. I don't know what you do right now for work, but I think a career in comedy might be in your future, bud.
He'll be the flat cap comic. I know we've had those.
Hey, I'm copying him right now. I got one just to look like him.
Well,
so.
Kuva, Jethro died the other day, so there's a slot open. Yeah, there's a slot open.
Yeah.
For a West Country, even though you come from London originally, you've got that little West Country twang there now.
Yeah. All right. Hello. It's not that difficult. Just my mate Jethro Pan Murphy. Yes. So Lucas Moura.
Lucas Moura, yeah, in tribute to Scott.
He was the best of a bad lot, really.
And what's it say when Lucas Moura looks better than Heung-Min Son?
We were saying on our WhatsApp group, Colin, that it gives Conte a bit of a problem here because obviously he couldn't go back to 5 in the middle because Lucas Moura was playing so well and he wouldn't want to take off Son or Kane, so he couldn't really change it to 3-5-2, which is obviously ultimately why he went to the 4-3-3, I think. Again, because he had to leave Moura on, then he was one of the only players that was actually doing all right, actually trying and giving a shit.
Maybe move him into midfield. I don't know. I know that I hated him. I kind of hated him at 10. I remember last season, a lot of people were saying, well, he's been our best number 10. Well, I mean, he wasn't doing the things that a number 10 should do. He can't pick out a pass. He can't thread that pass. You know what I mean? So
I think we haven't got another 10, have we, Colin? That is what that is something
we really haven't.
We need, as John said earlier, we need a number 10. But I mean, we need a standing striker so you can give Son or give Kane a rest, because Sonny looks like he's running on empty.
Well, he had COVID too, right?
Yeah, I think he's one of the first ones to have it, weren't he?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I haven't even. I'm just with my wife who has tested positive. I haven't even tested positive. I feel like shit. I don't think I could run around the block right now. So the fact that Sonny's playing all game, every game.
Yeah.
I think that's why he's just slightly off at the moment, because mentally and physically it's going to take its toll out. You're not having to isolate. You're not sure if you're going to get it bad. I think that psychologically, that's the thing, Colin. I don't know if you found, and you, Rez, that when you do get COVID, you're thinking in the back of your mind, am I going to get away with a mild dose here, or is it going to hit me hard and I'm going to end up in hospital? So it's the psychological thing more than anything, isn't it? So that's
and also I think
I was fairly sanguine about it.
Sorry, Rez. You're back. I was saying, I think Sonny might have long COVID. That might be the issue.
That was my fear the entire time. As soon as I heard that some of our players had it, I was afraid of that. And I know that the Omicron is not supposed to be as bad. And I mean, and I keep the only person I have to compare anything to is my wife, because she's literally 3 feet away from me. She's tough as nails. She keeps saying out of a 10 being the worst, that she's like a 2 at the worst, feeling. But still, the long COVID is my fear for everybody. And as soon as I heard that we had problems and that our squad was hit, that was what I was worried about. And I continue to be, because Sonny's one of those players that his fitness is one of his very strong points.
Yeah. As I say, he seems to be running on empty at the moment, and he's not. I don't know. As I say, there's too many of them running on empty at the moment.
Is Jens about to come on?
Barry, isn't it? Yeah, Jens has gone into the algorithms and kicked him off.
The multiverse. Jens is in the multiverse.
I mean, it's all of them. It's all of them. Do you know what? Son, I'm going to do Son and Kane as well. Fuck going round. Okay, Son was under par. Kane was under par. Everyone was under par. It was crap.
Remember when Kane used to press? What the fuck? Has he been told not to? Sorry for my language. I really apologize.
No, fill your boots.
Yeah, can you stop fucking swearing, please?
Yeah, you fucking hell, Colin.
I'm fucking sorry. I'm really fucking sorry, Raz. Okay?
Yeah,
I'm fucking sorry.
Yeah, you got swearing free pass here, Colin.
Language, Timothy.
Fucking refined.
Sorry. Much love. I'm always saying that with love, Cody and Scott. No disrespect meant. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. You know what? Just very quickly on Kuva's comment just there, right? It's not just Wizards of Stonehenge. It should be Douve Wizards of Stonehenge. So I know
brilliant.
Aaron, but the Douve part needs to be part of the name. So Kuva, I actually see.
Yeah, I'm looking to set up a new band at the moment. That's a brilliant name, isn't it? The Dub Wizards of Stonehenge.
Yeah, I think you should get. Kuva. You should get Kuva on bass guitar.
Yeah.
because he looks like a bassist. He really does look like a bassist, right? I
Queen's the
don't know.
Stone
I
Age
don't know if
guy.
you do play
Beard.
an instrument, Coover, but you look like a bassist, mate. Okay.
Aaron on the drums.
Yes, Aaron on drums. Yourself on lead guitar. And I can.
I'm a bass player. If you guys need a bass player, I like to slap at the bass. So
Okay, we can
Slap
have two
bass,
bass
eh?
players. We have
Bit
two
of
bass players.
flea.
That works. I like
I
it.
try. I do my best. I mean,
There is Kuva's right. There is actually a genre of music, druid metal.
Druidic death metal.
There is. Yeah, I got into.
I'm gonna have to Google that for right now.
Check out Stoner Blues as well, Colin. That's decent
Stoner
music.
Blues.
Stoner Blues. Yeah, that's decent.
Isn't that what bluegrass is?
There's a band called the Picture Books who are awesome. It's like
Okay.
Stoner Blues band. They're awesome. Just a two piece.
Nice.
Dub
I
means
can always-
dark, stroke black in Gaelic, says Aaron. But
In
it
my
fits
youth-
even more.
In my
Superb.
youth, I
Yeah.
actually used to be a Status Quo fan. I know it don't show
Get
without
out.
my hair.
Get out now,
That's
right?
Yeah, but I'm an old
Aaron,
man.
can I just ask? What the...
I'm throwing him out. Never mention the word
Mention
status
status quo.
quo again, Alan.
Unless you
Oh,
mean it in the original Latin version, right?
I think you boys don't like them.
Kuva's the drummer, then, is he? Oh, excellent. Kuva's the drummer. Rez.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
not on the bass. So we've got Colin
Fair
on
enough.
bass, haven't we now? So
Yeah,
there you
well,
go.
I play a mean tambourine.
where does that leave Aaron?
Who
Though?
plays
He's
the
been
tri-
out-
Aaron,
Yeah, he's
who
been
plays the
ousted from his
triangle?
own band, the Dub Wizards of Stonehenge.
That's it.
Got
We need a
Kuva on
triangle
drums,
player.
Colin on the bass. Any
Aaron,
take
Aaron,
from-
to be fair, Aaron can be my backup vocalist because.
Oh, there you go. He's a miserable
else?
poetic vocalist. Yeah.
Yes.
The only thing I'd be any good for is smoke effect.
I love the Irish accent too, so I feel like that could add something to our
It'd be like the
So-
Cranberries.
There's the thing that all Irish people think they can sing, Colin. So I don't know if Aaron's
Um,
along those lines.
That's
After
never
Bon-
made its way to me. I've never heard that before, but I do come from
Bono
Irish
started.
descent. My grandmother's last name was O'Connor, so I'm not too far down the line. I'm a countryman of Aaron's, so maybe that's why I think I can sing.
Some Canadian twang here as well from Ireland to Canadian. Salut les gars, nous avons encore mangé si et je suis un mode Levy out et pas entière. Anyone?
We have more.
Hello, gentlemen.
company here, and I
Hello,
am
guys.
in. I'm in the thing. I'm
Very
getting.
good. Okay, Google Translate that one.
I'm trying to pass the first one, but I can't quite finish that one because I'm not sure what manger would be. I'm guessing I am of the type of being Levy out.
That's the
guessing,
secret
or
message on the
partially.
album cover, apparently. And
Partially, yeah.
This is ingrained into the vinyl.
That's even easier. Brian, can you please stop playing with Google Translate? There are much better apps out there. Okay.
Hello, Brian.
Evening to Tottenham away.
Hello, Brian.
Not Brian Stelios.
Hello,
Um,
Stelios.
That was
I
good.
always sound like an Australian. I can't do a fake British accent because I just sound like I'm an Aussie.
You've not been practicing.
I know you
Yeah.
taught me some stuff. I've been busy. I've been doing things. Sorry,
Yeah.
my mouth
Yeah.
is moving too much, like you said.
That's
It's
it.
I got it.
That's got to be Dutch, isn't it? Jens, is that Dutch? Where's Jens when you need him?
Where is he?
God damn it.
Hello, younguns. No, that's the thing. Hello, lads. We're here again, and I'm full blown Levy out nerd. Good man.
Good stuff. Oh yeah, we can get Brad Matthews in the band as well.
Yeah.
I didn't know he played guitar though, Aaron. He hardly ever mentions
He
it. does
never
he?
meant. Yeah, he's kept that quiet.
He's kept it really quiet. I'm surprised that you found out, Aaron.
You know what I heard as
Go
well? I heard that I don't know who it is, but there's a member of our sort of streaming family who's a coach, and I don't know which one of us it is.
Nonsense. I mean, could it be me? No.
It
No.
could be you. It might be you.
No, never.
Is it not you?
Nah.
Definitely not me.
I reckon it's Brian.
Brian
Brian's
Daigle, we
fine.
could do the.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Who's that guy, the Leighton Orient guy? John Sillett. Is it Sillett? No.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? The one that does the bring your dinner. You and your mate go outside and bring your dinner because you're going to be needing it. Bring your dinner.
Yeah.
And you can bring your dinner too. He plays the triangle, so there's our triangle player all sorted.
Yeah. So we're an
Our-
8-piece now.
Yeah, yeah, we're an orchestra.
Excellent. Excellent.
Can I real quick ask? This is totally off topic. I don't want to stay on it for very long, but have you British blokes
Have you ever
seen the
watched
show
this?
Naked
Okay.
Attraction?
You there, British blokes? Have we done what?
But have you seen the show Naked Attraction?
Nah.
Is that the one where they get naked people and they block their heads off, and then the woman
Yes.
goes around? Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard.
I
of
was
this. Yes.
I was watching TV the other night and I was like, what in the hell am I
You get some right
witnessing?
nutters on there, yeah.
Oh my god! And I thought the United States was a pretty liberal place to be, but this is on regular TV. This is on Channel 4.
There's a famous
No,
clip
Channel-
of a.
Channel-
I think she worked for the church as well, Colin, and she was a right randy old.
You gotta bear in
Devil.
mind, Colin, that Channel
Sent it
4
to
is the sort of is
Oh,
the
okay.
channel
Is it-
which that
In
sort
the-
of stuff will appear
Channel
on.
4
In the
Face
U.S.,
for our
in the
band.
U.S., it's the higher the channels get, the more likely you are to see
Yeah, but
something
we've
like
only
that.
got
So
5 terrestrial channels, so that's why.
I was just like, oh my god, have I had more to drink than I thought I've had? Like, am I paying for this? Am I, But nope, it's
No.
just regular TV. All right, so you guys have all, wow,
Yeah, Channel 4 is the home for that kind of
what a wild world you guys live in.
unusual television.
So you're in the UK at the moment, then, Colin?
Yes.
UK at the moment.
For the foreseeable future, until me and my lady can pass our COVID test and go home. But came for a visit, caught the Omicron, and so now I'm Omicron. I say Omicron. I think that's a funny
You caught
thing
it.
that I accidentally picked up.
The,
but yeah,
the plot.
I'm
thing
the only one
there,
you-
actually, Colin,
He was
I was
the
looking into it
villain.
earlier.
He was the villain in Transformers the movie.
What, Omicron?
See,
Omnicron.
Oh.
so
Kim
we
is gonna fucking kill me.
Well, if I'm going to catch it, because I'm the only one out of you three guys that ain't got it yet.
yeah, no, it's not that bad. I mean, I just feel like just kind
You
of
can't be in the band, Alan, unless you've had it. It's
Yeah.
part of the requisite
Yeah.
for being in the band. You've got to have
After my little
Omicron.
So
tune
much
the other
so-
week, I don't think I can be
Make
in the
sure her
band.
vocal tube's a bit more gruff. You say.
So much so that basically, if you haven't had it and you apply to join the band, and the band decides to let you in,
we
they
have to
will
share roll-ups with you.
Yeah, they will
We're just gonna cough
deliberately
directly in your mouth.
Yeah, they will deliberately infect you. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
after my little version of Wonderful World the other week, I don't think I should be bothering with singing.
Colin,
Oh,
what did I
good
say
one.
about Irish people all thinking they can sing? Like Aaron's right on cue. He's a vocalist. There you go.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
All Irish people can sing. After Bono came along, he put ideas in all of their heads.
I almost got to see you two in concert, but there was a riot in St. Louis, Missouri, where I was supposed to go see him, and so they had to call off the concert. There's a big, huge sports. I mean, they're growing. I say huge. They're an up and coming sports channel in the U.S. called Barstool Sports. And they had asked me to be the technical director. I used to work in TV. Asked me to be technical director for a big program they had that night, and I had to say, "Sorry, guys, I'm busy. I'm going to a show with my mother that night." And then it got canceled, and I said no to that, and still didn't get to see Joshua Tree, the reunion album
no.
tour or whatever. And if cops could just stop murdering people in the U.S., then my life would be a lot easier. But
Yeah.
That's a whole other political show. Sorry about that.
Everyone's life would be a lot easier, Colin.
Yeah.
I like some pretty extreme music, but you
I
gotta love
saw-
U2. I've seen U2 two or three times, and they've been brilliant every time.
I saw
They're
them
good.
in
They're
97 at
great
Wembley Stadium.
band. Yeah, I can't hate on them. I mean, I like stuff in totally opposite directions, like either way of YouTube, but they're still a wonderful band, and to have seen them with my mom would have been a real pleasure. But
The great thing about Bono and U2 is that they can just start on one riff and just build it and build it and build it just through Bono's voice. There's that song called Bad which is just the same
Yeah,
riff all the way through, but Bono just takes it left, right, centre, higher, lower, drags it back down again all on his own, just through little dynamics with the drums, just one riff on the edge is brilliant.
If you watch
many people do that.
if you watch Rattle and Hum, the film,
I've got it, yeah.
they do the what's it called, the where the streets have no name.
Yeah.
And that build up from that with this, or that sort of the synth at the beginning and just sort of building up, and then you see them silhouetted coming onto the thing, and the Edge starts playing the little riff at the beginning, you know, like that, and it starts to build and build and build, and then you get the first sort of drum roll, and then the lights come out across the crowd like that, and they've got that they do the shot from a helicopter above the stadium. It looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, awesome
Absolutely
band.
amazing.
Awesome singer.
I've never seen any bands. I've a lot of it, as I say, because I haven't got the mobility to around. Me going to a concert, you know, I'd get
You'd be
crushed.
front row, mate. You would, in the old disabled section. You'd be loving it. You'd be right fucking underneath. Bono, I'd be spitting on you. Not intentionally, but
I've never, as I say, music is. I mean, my dad used to have a beautiful voice. I mean, we go on holiday. Just say we go on holiday in England or even abroad. When he went abroad, the amount of times he'd win the singing contest, it was untrue. Yeah, he had such a voice. A Welshman. Yeah,
all the Welsh think they can sing as well.
Well, I'm only half Welsh. That's why I only got a couple of.
That's why you like Status Quo.
You can sing the verses, but not the chorus.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I love. I mean, I love Phil Collins. Please say you like him, Phil Collins.
He's all right.
Oh, that's okay. I haven't been booted out yet.
Well, you're on the verge. I'll tell you why you've not been booted out, because my dad is a massive music fan, and he always said to me that Phil Collins was a brilliant drummer, so that's the only reason you haven't been kicked out. He's not a good singer. He's a brilliant
drummer.
I prefer a lot of the older. I'm a lot older than all you anyway. What, 10, 20 years. So at the end of the day, I like a lot of the older version music. Sorry,
it's all right.
Status Quo doesn't really count as music, though, Alan. To be honest.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. There is one Status Quo song that is tolerable. They did a version of "Fun Fun Fun" by the Beach Boys, which is tolerable. It's not on patch on the original, but it's tolerable. But that's as far as I'll go. Everything else is sort of like, okay. They didn't like that.
I just want to put out the invite. If any of you guys want to come to my town, there's a theme park that's like 30 minutes away from where I live, and it's called Holiday World, and all they do is play Beatles and Beach Boys music, and it's. And the whole theme park is split up into different. The whole theme park. Yeah, Beth is helping me. The whole theme park is split up into different holidays. So there's a Halloween section, like a Christmas, Thanksgiving. It's really cool, and there's some really 4th of July. There's some really great rides. So yeah, I'll just put it out there. Can you
imagine working there, Colin? Fucking every day, that same music going through your head.
I've got a problem, Colin. My wife won't fly that far. She won't. Man,
well, I wish everybody could. And that's the one good thing about where I'm from. But yeah, so I just had to bring that in. It's a pretty unique, cool thing we've got. I think it's even one of the first theme parks in the U.S. They've kept building it up and up and up as the owners have gotten more and more money. But it rivals like Hershey Park and Six Flags and all those things in the United States. So yeah, it's.
What state?
If you want to go to Indiana, unfortunately.
Indiana.
Represent, man.
Yeah.
Indiana, yeah.
What football team is that? Like soccer team, American football team?
Soccer team.
Who do you follow? Obviously.
Well, our soccer team that we've got, the one closest to us, is called the Indy 11. Which, God, could you get more unoriginal with the name?
The Indy 11.
Indianapolis is the state capital, but Indy 11 is what they call them. And that's embarrassing. And then my hometown
of the enemy.
My hometown has a new team, and listen to this. This team was formed this year, and they are called the Evansville Legends.
What have they done to be called Legends? A bit presumptuous, isn't it?
A bit.
Yeah, but the problem is you can't start small and build yourself up. You can't start calling yourself the Evansville Notables
and change it. Yeah,
and as you get bigger,
when you win the league, then call it the Legends.
Yeah, that's right. You got to go in powerful,
And then hey, just real quick to touch on what Aaron's comment here, that he says Beach Boys movies interesting, totally fake image and weren't Beach Boys. Yes, exactly. And a friend of mine's dad, they had a lot of Kokomo, Indiana. They had a lot of ties to that area, and I went to college with a boy from Kokomo, and my my friends, Beth goes, is that where that song came from? The Kokomo song? Exactly where it came from. And my friend, his claim to fame was that his dad threw a party. The Beach Boys came, and one of the members of the Beach Boys made it with a woman in my friend's bed. So one of the Beach Boys got lucky where my friend sleeps at night. So the Beach Boys have quite a little bit of history in Indiana.
There's a guy in our local pub, right? Who he's a bit of a barflight, and do you know the band? You might not have heard of them, Colin. They're called UB40. Have you ever heard of UB40? So basically, the UB40 is a form in the UK. I think it's something to do with when you get made redundant or
unemployment benefit.
Unemployment benefit, yeah.
Unemployment benefit.
And he used to bullshit. He goes, "Oh, I gave UB40 their name. I was talking to him in the pub once, and I said you're never going to get anywhere with that music. You're just going to end up with a UB40." And we were like,
my God, no,
bollocks, mate, it's bollocks. You're talking out of your fucking rectum. And this guy was from London as well, and they were from Birmingham, weren't they? I think UB40.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Yeah.
Funnily enough, that now when they replaced unemployment benefit because they didn't like the name of it, they changed it to job seekers allowance. The form was then renamed to JSA 40.
That's what I'm going to call my band.
And I know that because I work for DWP.
I don't know if you guys ever gotten one of these, but I got to see Conte the other day. Can you guys make that out?
Oh, you went for a stadium tour?
No. We met him. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it was a stadium tour, but no. I was just trying to kind of hop on that guy's train. The stadium tour was lovely. It was. I felt like I was like visiting the Holy Land of my people. You know, it was quite a thing. But
what were your highlights?
Highlights? That's the tunnel. I got to see the VAR room where we got screwed out of quite a few points. So that was some history there.
Tell me you laid the almightiest air biscuit in there before you left.
Dude, I've been doing that everywhere here, unfortunately. My stomach's just been torn up from just travel. But
all the fudgy food.
You guys have been getting them everywhere from me. But no. I got to put my bum in the same place that Sonny puts his on a weekly basis or so. I thought that was really cool. Hugo, I sat in Hugo's spot. I sat in Harry's spot too, but the summer still has left me a little bit sour with Harry Kane.
So no tingle.
Yeah, no tingles there. But yeah, it was awesome. It was so cool. I got to see the trophy cabinet, which isn't so much of a cabinet as it is a series of smaller cabinets. But I got to see that. I got to see those, and it was really wonderful. I just and maybe with this extended stay I've got here, I might be able to attend the match. Who knows? That would be the real champion.
Who knows?
Well, my daughter's hoping to take me to one of the Legends tours on my birthday in April.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
With Mickey Hazard.
He's a top guy. He's retweeted me before. Me and him have been in a little bit of contact via Twitter.
Yeah.
He's a very cool dude, and that would be wonderful. I've heard nothing but good things about that.
He was a beautiful player. I mean, don't get me wrong. I grew up in an age of Glenn Hoddle coming on the scene.
I was going to say you're a bit spoiled, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, the thing was, it's weird. So I was 9 years old when I went to my first game. But I used to be able to walk in Tottenham at the age of 10 to a night game and not have no one with me. Now, I'm not being funny, but you wouldn't let your child go out the
that's where I was staying until about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't go out at night unless there were two of us at least together. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I used to go and watch the reserves or the under 18s or whatever it was, like play their cup games on a Wednesday night, and I used to love it.
It's true of everywhere. No one would let their kid go to a game at the age of 10 alone anywhere. It's not just
Right.
Tottenham.
We had to, man. So you know the bar. You know the bar.
We're going back to the 70s. We're going back to the
Fuck it
70s.
up.
Yes.
You wouldn't-
And there was a problem.
Coaching Horses, though. Do you guys know that bar? Coaching Horses in Tottenham.
Yeah.
I went there and we met some locals and got to talking with them, and they were probably just talking, out of their backside, but they were like, yeah, if you get in any trouble, just mention this name, and no one will even want to mess with you because they'll know they're in trouble. And it was just a funny place to be.
The Coaching Horses has been known to attract some of the more villainous types.
I bought a kit there from a guy because I literally felt like I had to. I literally felt like I had to. He said, I can get you the kit for half price. And there's ATM right outside. And I was like, well, I better go do this because if not, I don't know.
Just say I've got one.
Right. He's like, you're a medium, aren't you? And I was like, yes. It was a very strange. They were comforting though. They made us feel at home, but I felt like I was in a mafia movie or something.
There's nothing dangerous.
I'm trying to think where that is now. The Coaching Horses.
But he even showed me what are supposedly next year's. I have an email I can send it to you guys that are supposedly next year's home and away kits that he's already got access to. And I of
did
course
you have to order them on the spot, or we wouldn't let you out the pub.
No,
Have the money over as a pre-order.
No, but I did, being myself. I was like, so
He's already got a minder now, Aaron. The hush money you had to pay that guy.
exactly. So I said, how do you
actually
know?
standing just off camera?
Right. And so I said, who like, all right, so are you Daniel Levy's friend, or how do you know all this stuff?
Like,
and then he
doesn't have any friends.
He threw me one of the it's not what you know, it's who you know, and that's all he would say. And it was, I don't know, it was bizarre. But yeah, so Coaching Horses, shout out to that place.
I can't picture where that is.
It is.
You
keep going, go down past the what's it called, the bricklayers, and it's on the right as it goes towards that. It's on the corner,
right,
it's got that little recess.
Where they park the away coaches.
Yeah, it's got that little recess thing. So you cross Northumberland Park.
Yeah,
you go across Northumberland Park. Keep going. It's on the right.
Yeah, 100% right.
Yeah, never been in there. We used to drink in the pub because the two pubs that I used to drink in around there have both gone there. There used to be one opposite the Coaching Horses, which I can't remember what it is, and then if you remember me telling you the pub I got kicked out of when I was 18 because I'd been going in there for 3 years before when I was 15, and they found out when I was 18 they weren't very happy. No, so I got banned. So I used to drink in a pub called the Whitehall Tavern, which used to be just up the road. So.
I love the area. I'm from a very rough area uptown where I live, and so I felt at home. But I do have to say, being in a more posh spot of town now, I do feel it does feel a little bit. It's a little easier to go out at night. You know what I mean? And I don't have to watch my back quite as much. But but that was part of the fun. That was part of the fun.
Yeah. Every city will have its. Every city will have its rough areas. Every city will have its more salubrious areas. You happen to be in the middle of London. You're in what Londoners call Zone 1. So yeah, I mean, there's nowhere in Zone 1 that's really sort of dangerous to visitors.
Gazza, who comes on this pod, when he went to New York, they rented a car and they were driving in the middle and just got lost and ended up in the middle of the Bronx. Don't stop, keep going. They're like, if the lights go red, just go.
Yeah, no, that's how I felt at times in Tottenham. But I loved it. By the end of our stay there, we felt at home and we were good walking around at night. But it took a day or two just to get used to it, but it's fun. It was a lot of fun. I really have enjoyed immersing myself. I've gotten to see all sides of London since I've been here, and that's really, I mean, what traveling's all about, you know.
Have you been to West London, like Kensington, Chelsea, all that lot?
I have before, but not in this trip.
There's nothing else to see in Kensington. There
No,
really
it's
isn't.
like a little quiet village in the middle of nowhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like-
too bad.
it's
It's not too bad. Jose Mourinho is not our manager anymore. Because I would have camped out and tried to find him someplace. But
Well,
but
that's
no.
where Conte lives. Conte lives in that area as well.
Oh well, see, maybe I've got something to do. Maybe
There's
Yeah.
nothing there. It's seriously. I mean, Kensington is just like this little enclave.
Used to be a nightmare to get
these sort
to.
of things, you know. It's like near where I live. I live at the bottom of this hill that leads up to a place called Highgate, and Highgate's like that as well. You've got this sort of like tiny little enclave, surrounded by the rest of the
Yeah.
city. You know, there's nothing to do in Kensington or a place like Highgate and stuff like that.
I've got sad memories of Highgate at Meres. That's where my mum was in the hospice in Highgate.
Yeah,
So-
there's very little there. There is very little there. I mean, you go further up the hill, or you sort of turn right and go up another hill. You get to Muswell Hill, which is an interesting, more
My area.
interesting part of thing. Yeah.
Can you guys tell me any history about this shirt? I just bought it at the club. I haven't looked into it. I just bought it at the club shop. Does this
1961.
1961? It's got a number on the back too.
Your
Babe,
wage
what,
for 61.
is there 8 on the back of this, Beth? She can't hear me. I think there's an 8 on the
Turn
back.
around,
Four.
it's a 4.
Number 4.
Perryman? Whose number is that?
No,
Not
Permanent's a
in
bit
61,
later.
no. In 4,
Okay.
it'll be Danny Blanchflower.
Danny
Oh,
Blanchflower.
okay.
Yeah.
See, forgive me. Please forgive.
No,
No, you've done well there to get yourself a four the away shirt.
yeah, absolutely.
It was
That's a classic. That's a classic shirt.
Although at that point, they were still playing. Their shirt numbers equated to their positions. So
Gotcha.
if they played a
Classic.
different position, they wore a different shirt number.
I mean, I think Glenn Hoddle was one of the first ones that I think he played in midfield at number 4. Hoddle had at one time he played with the number 4 in midfield. I'm sure he did.
Guys,
But he eventually benched just 10.
And Ricky Beard had it at some time, I think.
That's one of the quiz questions later if Jens does pop on. The
No,
famous
didn't
number
Ricky-
told.
no,
I don't want to give him the clue actually.
Didn't Ricky play 5?
Yeah, but he
In the
actually you might be
81
right
Cup
there.
final, yeah.
I know Hoddle, I remember Hoddle being.
Hoddle
I remember Hoddle
probably
being
at
poor.
some point, yeah.
Yeah.
But then didn't Hoddle eventually? Didn't he just take
I
the
think
10?
number 8. I think 8. I think Hoddle
8?
might have finished. Yeah,
Was it 8? Yeah. But he took that shirt and it was just his after that, wasn't it?
Yeah. I never remember seeing his last game at Wembley when we lost to Coventry in the cup, and
87.
that was the biggest balls up from Spurs going. You had half them walk out with Holston on their shirt, and the other of them never had no advertising. And none of that. Hoddle was one of the ones that never had the advertising.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that happened now?
Holston. No, sorry, forgive me again. Holston's a beer company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was one of our first shirt sponsors. Because they'd only really just started coming in late in the late mid to late 80s. The shirt sponsors.
Okay.
With a name on it. I must admit, I never liked them. I preferred the old plain shirt. You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, they were much more beautiful back then, and I know beautiful is kind of a lady's word, maybe, but but that's what
That's why I've got a bit of respect quite a lot of respect actually for Barcelona, because they recently played without a shirt sponsor, and then they did a shirt sponsorship where they were the ones donating to, I think it was UNICEF.
UNICEF, yeah.
But now you see how
them
effed they are financially, and you wonder if maybe a shirt sponsor wouldn't have.
Well, it was only one season, but the reason they're so screwed, and Real Madrid is so screwed, is because they are
Becco now, aren't they? I've got or Qatar or Jens. You like this
Qatar now,
Qatar Airways? I've got Barcelona training top on at the moment.
The point is that this is
well, who
why,
doesn't?
Exactly. This is why. This is actually why clubs like Newcastle, like Man City, like Chelsea being taken over is not just about the anti-competitiveness.
Sports washing,
and it's because it will turn every league into a fucking monopoly of a small number of teams who will then potentially go on and spend huge amounts of money, and then there's financial disaster waiting for them later. Right? I don't bear any ill will beyond the fact that they're a rival or another club's opposition to Man City supporters. right? They didn't choose to be taken over by
Yeah,
the.
that's where they were. That's where they were brought up. That's where they were raised. That's the team their
they
dad
don't have a
supported.
choice.
That's a team that yeah.
So what happens if, let's say, for instance, the leagues around the world suddenly come to their senses and say, do you know what? We're not going to let these sports washers to come in and buy clubs, and we're going to deal with the ones that are here now, and they get rid of these things. What's going to happen to Man City then?
Hey, have you heard that? Have you seen the figures about how much money that Roman Abramovich has pumped into Chelsea?
It's about £1.2 billion.
Over 2 billion, isn't it?
I would say it's closer to 2 billion. I think, my friend.
I think it's about 2.3 billion pounds.
And that's not profit. That's none of that's profit. None of that's profit.
So
the fact that we've been able to stay near them and make a profit, and Daniel Levy's making his money, or Joe Lewis or whoever, that's insane to me. That shows that put somebody like him, think about how scary somebody like him in charge of a team like that would be.
But the argument here, or the argument that people have, is not that Levy trying to keep the club running sustainably is itself inherently wrong. That isn't the problem. The problem is that he has done it to such an extent that it has damaged our ability to mount a challenge and to compete. There is a happy medium between that profligate spending, where you are completely out of control, like Barcelona and Real Madrid and Juventus and all of those other ESL fuckers, right? And being so parsimonious that you destroy the competitiveness of your club. There is a middle ground between those two things. And that is the middle ground that he has consistently failed to hit. And the only time that he seems to have done it, and even then it's subject to retrospective analysis, was when Poch was in charge. That was the only time that his model worked and we were competitive. And there's an argument to say that it wasn't working then either.
I'm not being funny, but if you take time when even Joel was there, you know what I mean? We started to become competitive under Joel.
Yes, but it wasn't. But you know what, Alan? The issue there is that us becoming competitive under Joel was us becoming the club we were supposed to be all along.
Yeah,
we are the sixth most successful football club in the country, and so us being competitive should be the normal state of things for Tottenham Hotspur FC, not something that we achieve. We achieved that decades ago. Going back to the 50s.
I still hold Scholar to blame for a lot of it.
Scholar is entirely the agent of the thing. Do you know what the real irony is? Scholar was trying to do what Levy seems to be doing now, which is to turn the club and the estate around it into a multifunctional sports and entertainment franchise centre. That's what Scholar's vision was.
When he never had the finances to really do it,
all the facilities to exist at that time. It was just completely outside of the realms of possibility. But the man had that vision. But what he did is that he took the club, floated it on the stock market, and then started this entire ball rolling, because we were the first club to be floated on the stock market, and that's what.
Oh, really? There's some history there. I'm not quite. I'm not
quite
we
were the first club on the stock market.
This is why it's so key. I mean, a lot of us will have a go at ENIC for 21 years of failure, and they're right, and we're right to do that. And I count myself as one of them. But when we say look at that history as an indicator of what is likely to come, don't just stop there. Go back further, and you'll see all of the roots of the problems that we have with football today, all of the things that are going wrong with football, the roots of them started in the early 80s. And they all started, all of them, not just Spurs, all of them started with one Irving Scholar. I hold him responsible for the state of football in this country as a whole.
He was the reason why Birkinshaw left. and he
Yes.
was one of the reasons why Hoddle decided to go.
So
Hoddle
where
might
does
have
so
played
where
on
does
for a year or
Lord
two
Sugar
longer.
fit into all this timeline?
He took
Well-
over. He got us out of the. He got us out of the ship. He literally got us out of the
So
ship.
he's a good man. He's not a villain
Yeah,
in
no.
any way.
And he was the one that actually helped set up. He was the actual one that set up Sky, like for the football, like the Premier League.
Sort of. No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't set it up.
Yeah.
He's in charge, or his company was called Amstrad.
Amstrad.
It's Alan Michael Sugar Trading Company.
Yeah.
Amstrad. One of the things that Amstrad did was they made electronics. What he did is that he agreed a deal with Rupert Murdoch's Sky company to provide
Murdoch, damn, that's a name for sure.
to provide satellite dishes and the equipment to receive satellite broadcasts.
Okay.
And that allowed him then to get a foothold in football and then to purchase rights to the Premier League
Okay.
after he'd also gone through the process, not Alan Sugar, Rupert Murdoch, of purchasing the rival satellite company, which is a company called BSB, British Satellite Broadcasting. And then that's why, for a while, Sky's actual trading name was Sky B.
Interesting. See, I'm having a little history lesson here, which is I'm always into, because that was my favorite subject in school, and I've unfortunately, just for the money, had to go to school for computer stuff recently, and put the history on the back burner. But this is my favorite thing to talk about. So thank
Hello,
you guys.
Mr. P, you're back.
You got the kick stuff in, mate.
Mr. P. Rick.
Nick, you might as well just go.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Mr. D. Rick from Denmark would be. Did Jens come on, or did he not come on?
What is he?
No,
Not yet.
He's not been on yet, no.
His little babies must be up late tonight. They must not be behaving. They must not be wanting to be put down.
No, Jens, I didn't leave because of your comment. So stop getting all bloody emotional. I've had to book a last-minute flight to Belfast tomorrow.
Oh, really? I bet that wasn't exactly cheap. I've been looking at last-minute flights, and they're not on the cheap side.
Well, work was paying for it, so it's it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, I've.
There he is! Yes. Hey,
Finally.
Hey,
Frankie Villa.
this is the closest I have been to you in a long time, my friend. This is awesome. Good to
How
see
we
you,
going,
man.
Jens?
Johnny, do you want to put Colin right next to Jens so you can really
I don't know if I can
bathe
believe I don't know how
in the
to do
glow?
it, actually. Let me.
You just click and drag.
I
click
click
and
and drag
drag
to
the
it.
window.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. So I
Sorry,
better
that-
separate Barry and Jens, and
There you go.
Boom.
Yeah, I don't want to be next to him.
Sorry
Jens,
about the
Jens,
delay.
put your hand up. We'll touch our hands.
Sleep.
Yeah, go on.
Jens, you're going to put bond with Colin.
Put the heart up.
Put your half other side. Other side.
Other side.
Oh yeah, look. Yeah.
Oh, you can
Look,
feel the
we're
vibes.
best friends now.
You can feel the vibes. Finally, Alan, touch this.
Jens, do you want to address? Do you want to address Scott M's comment? Are you going to defend Højbjerg?
No,
after
not
his-
at all. No, he was terrible last night. He hasn't been good for a while. I just think that people have extremely short memories of how good he was last season.
Yes.
But you know, everybody is entitled to their opinion, and I can't defend him for last night. I can't defend him for most of this season. But I still think there's a player in there, and I think if he gets the right partner in midfield, then things will get better. But him and Skip are a little bit too similar.
Agreed.
It's a very one-dimensional midfield when it's the two of them.
That's why I think we need a
Absolutely right.
midfield three. I think that's what we need a midfield three, and I think the two of them would be fine side by side with a player. I know Coutinho's name has been mentioned lately. I don't think he's coming, but I think that a player of Coutinho's ilk in front of them would be lovely. And so I agree. And just to say, Jens, it's really good to see you, man. I hope you're healthy and well, and hope everybody's good in your family. Hope everything's good, man.
Yeah, Less said about that, the better. But anyway, yeah, cheers, mate.
Fuck. Sorry, I did not know anything. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right,
Man,
mate. How are you feeling?
I feel like,
How you feeling?
decent enough. Just sort of ready to go home, but could do that.
You look very Irish at the moment, Colin. Actually, thinking about it, with the flat cap and the red hair and the beard. I'm not
100%.
It's going to be before you know it, you're going to be thinking you can sing.
My grandma would be mighty proud.
I'm not one for cultural
Debbie
stereotypes or
O'Connor.
anything like that. I'm not.
Debbie O'Connor would be proud of me.
Yeah, but Debbie, you can. If someone said to you, if you had to pick a stereotypical, stereotype nation that this person might be from, where would you guess? And I would reckon that 9 out of 10 people would say you were Irish.
Yeah,
my great uncle. We did the whole the ancestry DNA thing. My grandmother's brother is 99% Irish. So like I'm up there. I've got that blood in me for sure.
That's cool.
But
mine was Scandinavian, Colin. I still haven't.
I'm
African. I've got some Scandinavian come from my dad's side. And then my grandpa was German. His last name was Sievers. And so we're German there. I'm mostly Irish and German, some Scandinavian, but about as wide as you could be, unfortunately.
It's basically you are the quintessential Midwesterner.
Yeah,
the quintessential Midwesterner. There'll be Irish and German and Scandinavian in there.
We like to farm. We like to farm, and the farmland in the Midwestern United States is very similar to here in Europe. So,
is why when you go up to places like when you go north to places like the Dakotas and stuff like that, you get a lot of names like Jorgensen and Svensson and stuff like that because
it was the same. You could go and you could grow the same crops. You could have the same animals. You could have you didn't have to change much. Except no one persecuted you for your religion there. So
they do now.
Well, of course. Yes. But anyway, Jens, very good to see you, man. Very, very good to see you.
Jens, as we've got you, I guess you can talk about one of our talking points there. You're the perfect man to do it. I'll just bring it up on the screen. Christian Eriksen's video interview in the last couple of days where he's confirmed he's... Well, do you want to talk us through what he's confirmed and what he hasn't?
Well, he just said that he thinks he's ready to get back playing. He wants to play in the World Cup in Qatar. He feels well. He said he's not having any problems with his heart. But the only issue is of course, with the pacemaker. Now, apparently I've heard that he can't play in England as well because they have the same rule. Sorry?
Is that because of regulation?
Yes, they have the same regulations as in Italy. But he can in Denmark, he can in the Netherlands. I'm not sure about the other parts of Europe. I mean, maybe you go to Mexico and play with Vincent Janssen. He rip up the league over there. So
he did say he feels safer now he's got that in there. If it does happen again, he said he knows that he's got that. Buffer there. Restarted for him,
When you see Mrs. Eriksen, there's no possibility that Christian wants to go there to play with Vincent Janssen in that way.
How do you play it if you're Mrs. Eriksen? Your husband's just dropped dead pretty much with a heart issue. Are you ever going to try it on with him again? Because you're thinking, right, I could finish him off here if I get him excited.
He'll be all right.
Yikes! I tuned out for a second. What did I just jump back into? Oh my god!
It's not a problem. He'd die happy.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't have him back at Spurs because every time I'd see the man play, I would be I'd be torn up. I would be wondering,
hey,
Fitzy. But every single time he would look, he was overexerting himself. I would be like, fuck, like is this it? Yeah. And so I don't know if my heart could deal with it. I know that's selfish of me, but I'm nothing if not selfish. So I mean,
I don't think he should come back to the Premiership. I think it's
maybe hang out in Denmark. Maybe hang out in Denmark in the Pro League there, and
it's a lot slower there.
Yeah,
I am not. I am convinced.
Also in the Netherlands.
Yeah. Sorry, you say. Yeah, I cannot envisage him playing top level league football again. That I just don't see how. I know players have played with pacemakers before. I know they have, but come on, you're taking your life in your hands, aren't you? A little bit. I mean, educate me if I'm wrong. Fine, I'm happy to be corrected.
Hey,
But
Well,
I
think
don't
top
think
flight.
you are wrong, but I do know. Okay, listen, I do know actually of one man who's had a similar procedure and an implanted device similar to Christian Eriksen, and he's much healthier than before. And in talking to him, it's one of my mom's coworkers' husbands, so it's not like a very close, to me. But he said that he feels better than before. But still, I mean, why would you chance it? He's got the money. You would think. I don't think he seems like the type that spends lavishly or has thrown all his money away. And so it's not like he's in desperate need for money. It's not like, and also I think that the Denmark coaches should have enough respect for him that they should pick him for a tournament. I would think, even if he's not playing in a top league. So I don't know what would push him to push himself that hard and particularly.
Do you know what I think it is?
Personal
Daley
pride.
Blind plays for Ajax in the top league in the Netherlands. Yeah, again, that's not as fast as the Premiership, and he still plays for the Dutch national team, who I believe are in the top 10. So it is a possibility.
That's the test case for him, isn't it? Yeah.
So
And Daley Blind
also,
has, and you brought him up because he has. Does Daley Blind, doesn't he have one of the same types of
yes.
cardiovascular implants? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Okay, he plays in a position which there's not quite as much. Well, he's never run as much as Eriksen did. And he plays
Eriksen was everywhere.
Back,
we don't know how much.
Ajax.
We did not know how much we missed him until he was gone, man.
Yeah, but that last season he was terrible.
Yeah,
last 18
his head.
months.
Well, his head was gone. His head was gone. So.
Yes. Yeah. Of course. I think his body was gone. I think he's done. Well, I've said this before. It's the same as Wayne Rooney. He burst onto the scene at 17 years old.
And
29.
Do you think there's any truth to what Aaron says about players these days and like performance enhancing drugs maybe even being a part of the problem?
Yeah, I couldn't comment on that.
There was always that rumour about Man City and Liverpool, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And Barcelona.
Because
with Liverpool, the rumour was caffeine doping. So
caffeine doping. I'm dead if that's the case. I would be in the grave. I got one foot in the grave if that's the problem, because
you can use caffeine apparently to up performance. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying what the principles behind it are.
Yikes! I better lay off the caffeine for real.
Your lawyers are saying
we're talking about. I mean, this is like dosing with actual caffeine, not like saying, "Oh, have 40 cups of coffee today."
No, I know. I have at my house, at my home. I didn't bring it because the UK is, they've got their laws. But I have a bag of legit caffeine powder and a milligram.
Oh yeah, no. It's legal. It's legal to take it. You can have as much caffeine as you like, but you can use caffeine as a way of enhancing performance.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I've done it for just for studying for school. But
that was the rumor around Liverpool. Was that they were using caffeine doping.
I have a feeling. Okay, if they're anything like me and talking to my mom, you tell them the most low grade bad thing you did, and for them it was the caffeine, and then you leave out the real bad stuff, and then you know what I mean. So I think it's a case of just publicizing the least bad of the bad things, and so they're like, it was the caffeine, it wasn't any of the amphetamines or any of the HGH or any, you know what I mean. I don't know. I agree with Aaron. It's not only caffeine. Yeah. It's not maybe that's all. Maybe that's all you heard about, or maybe that's all they were willing to publicize. But I think
it's about the regimen, because like if you're using one particular, performance enhancing substance, you don't want to mix it with something that might cause a negative interaction with the thing that you're doing. It's still very scientific. It's not just a case of saying, open your mouth, I'm going to pour this down your throat. It will be properly weighed and stuff like that. But as Aaron said before, it's in all sport. There's no possibility that there isn't doping going on at some point.
I think Aaron said on a stream before. Aaron, if you'd like to put in the comments, how many players did Liverpool have registered as asthmatics at one stage so they could give them drugs? some kind of drugs. It was
Oh, yeah,
ridiculous,
yeah,
like
yeah,
19 of the whole squad that they were apparently asthmatic, so they were entitled to give them these certain drugs.
Here in the UK, I've been taking some cold medicine because I'm unwell a little bit, and it's got a chemical called pseudoephedrine in it, and you legit just can't even get that in the United States right now.
No, because you can make crystal meth out of it.
And so yeah,
How do you know that? Yeah.
Rez is 100% right, but I'm just saying.
I'm the one who knocks.
Oh, Walter up there.
Oh God! Hey! Please don't have me whacked, okay, Walter? I don't want any trouble. Leave your business alone. I won't step on your turf. Hold on, I want to read this Aaron comment real quick.
It was provided by our team doctor. We were told it was vitamin. We did it mid-race, then discarded the tubes and syringe, and I suspect it was amphetamines. Yeah.
So is Aaron really
Lance
Armstrong? Lance Armstrong.
Yeah.
Lance Armstrong.
He is.
But I thought there was a great saying I cut by an American comedian. He said, "I don't know why everyone's giving Lance Armstrong such a hard time. When I was on drugs, I couldn't even find my bike."
Going back to
You guys.
Do you remember, Nick? Do you remember I put up a post about Lance Armstrong when he got prosecuted the first time for drugs cheating, and I got abused, Colin, by hundreds of Americans. I think I went viral. I said I can't believe how stupid it is to, because of his cancer charities and whatnot, all this stuff.
Yeah,
so all you're doing is
the yellow bracelets and all that.
Yeah, all you're doing is denigrating his good name, and he makes so many millions for charity. Couldn't you just turn a blind eye? He doesn't race anymore. Just let him keep his good name because all the good he does for cancer. And I got bombarded. I was like,
man,
trending in
America. If they had only known then how widespread of a thing it was, how it's not just Lance, how it was just all the teams, everybody.
The best one was something like rack off, you limey bastard, go and drink a cup of tea. I was like, whoa, you're bringing out the big guns now.
If that's the worst I got to throw at you. By the way, though, I haven't had a good cup of tea since I've been here. Maybe after the show you guys can tell me what to do exactly, what I'm doing wrong.
You haven't had a cup of tea?
You got to put the milk in first. You put a little bit of milk in first, then you don't get all that creamy residue on the top there.
You do not put the milk in first.
You do.
Have you got those tiny little canisters, little containers of milk?
Yeah.
That's why.
That's where you're going wrong.
Okay.
Going back to Aaron's comment about we're the Channel 4 of the Spurs team. I want to turn it into like a Channel 5 moment, because
why?
Who wouldn't want to be finished off by Mrs. Eriksson? Let's just.
Oh God!
I know, Colin.
I'm on headphones. I'm on headphones here, so we're good. We're good.
She doesn't know what's going on.
No clue.
Unless she's watching the stream. She might be watching the stream on her phone. No.
Nothing, babe. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. We're good. We're good.
Moving on swiftly.
And on to the next subject.
And on the next the next talking point. We'll come to Walter White up the top there. What do you reckon about this then? Danny Rose leaving Watford. What have you heard about that? Yeah, he's leaving Watford.
Yeah.
Well, his heart hasn't been in it for a while, right?
He is. I'm sorry. I for a while I did sort of question what he did, but not anymore. I've got enormous respect, huge amount of time for Danny.
Did you see his note at the darts?
No.
Yeah.
It said something about Harry Kane. He learned it from me.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
I liked it. I liked all that actually. That actually made me smile, even though I was upset about the Harry Kane stuff this summer.
Danny is a good egg as far as I'm concerned. I think I dated a girl named Crystal Meth Fanny Scamilla back in the 70s when I was high on Colombian. I used to shove 2 beans up my ass in the morning to get ready for D-Day.
Sounds like most of the Premiership footballers ingested caffeine in that way, to be honest.
Yeah, right? If that's what it is.
Thanks, Harry. But yeah, Danny, a lot of time for him. I think he got fucked.
I do too. Daniel Levy owes him a fucking testimonial match, if nothing else, right?
Yeah, right. Because Daniel Levy basically engineered, as far as I can find out, as far as from the information that I've got, the conclusion that I've drawn is that it was Daniel Levy engineered the destruction of Danny Rose's career. Right? I am firmly of the conviction that is what happened, is that Daniel Levy, in his usual spiteful, childish, get his revenge way, didn't like what Danny said in the Sun that time and basically got him ostracized. That's what I believe. Right?
I think so.
And because of that, Danny, instead of enjoying 3 or 4 more years of top flight football and really being able to enjoy his football. I mean, I saw this video on Twitter of him doing keepy uppies, right? And he got to 127, right? Just kicking the ball up. You know, I mean, the guy has skill and talent. We've seen it from the moment that he came on, made his debut and scored that unbelievable goal against Arsenal. And then he had 2 seasons with Kyle Walker on the other side, where he was the best left back in the world, right? And for him to have that done to him, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a travesty.
I just wanted to really quick pop in and bring it back to Channel 4 and say that I've clued Beth into everything. I've told her everything. She's also said that if she had the opportunity, she would want to be, finished off by Christian Eriksen's wife too. So that's we're all on the same page. That's how she would want to go out. Also, we're all together now.
Singing from the same menage a trois pimp sheet.
Same pimp sheet here.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be. No, I'm pretty sure that no one would be doing it menage a trois. It would just be them and Mrs. Eriksen.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted, bro. You're muted, bro.
Very unmuted.
Oh, I was saying, has Alan been out to deliver some milk tray to someone?
Oh, yeah,
he just got back.
Milk tray man again.
Harry Payne. I've never met Harry Payne in the chat before. Hello, Harry Payne.
I had to go and have a quick ciggy and another visit somewhere else.
Okay.
Thanks for the update.
Thanks, Alan.
Okay.
You can take the next point there, the milk tray man.
That's why it's the milk tray man, because that's what he was doing with his visit.
Yeah, I was just going to do a
off the press
delivery.
there, milk tray man.
I was just going to do a delivery.
Milk tray man, would you like to take the comment on the question? The Leicester away postponement has been reorganised for bang right in the middle of the Arsenal and Chelsea games, which obviously is great for us. But apparently Leicester have been moaning like right bitches. Like just before I came online there, I put Spurs into news now, and it's all Leicester moaning. Apparently they're unhappy because they've got to play the game now.
Moaning about what?
Because 3 of their players are out on African duty, and
fuck off. That's not our problem. Don't sign African players who you know are going to be gone for a tournament. That happens biennially.
And they actually thought they'd get lucky, and the game would be replayed towards the end of the season when they'd have all their players back, and now they've got 3 less than they had anyway.
Collins just answered it.
I'm irritated. That irritates me.
Yeah.
Like get fucked. Sorry about my language, but
they want to sign players from the African nations. They know they're going to be playing in these tournaments. Yeah. Tough luck.
Live with it.
We lost Adebayor, and he was the only goal scoring threat we had sometimes. And I mean, it's something you do. You know that before you sign the player. You understand that the tournament happens when it happens. Get effed. I won't quit. I'll quit cussing on your stream to hopefully not.
Why?
No.
Have you not heard my rant? Have you not heard my rant earlier on?
I mean,
Get fucked,
we
Liverpool,
all felt that pain when Didier
and
Zagora went
everyone.
away.
Yeah.
It makes me really mad.
We were PNs, weren't we?
We don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. This is Shelf Side Spurs show. All right.
I was gonna say. I've been met. You know, Brez has met me in person. He knows that I just have the really foul mouth just in person. But yeah. Fuck off. Get fucked. I mean, you signed them. You knew what you were getting into.
At the end of the day, right? They're just about to enter. They're going into the Europa Conference, aren't they?
Yes.
Just jump down in. Yes, sir.
So now the fixture has to be fitted in. Can't put it in at the end of the season because if they did do well in that, when are we going to play?
Playing in Europe, yeah.
So no. At the end of the day, tough luck.
Question for the panel from Harry Payne here. name some I mentioned on Tommy's stream earlier. If you notice the players which Conte traditionally turns into wing backs, they're normally attacking players more than defensive players. Ashley Young and Victor Moses. He doesn't tend to turn fullbacks.
Well.
Yeah, he doesn't tend to turn the fullbacks into wing backs. He tends to turn wingers into fullbacks. So ideally we need to start looking at good wing players that we can turn into fullbacks. Is there anyone out there or anyone that's
really quick? Harry Payne. I made the joke out loud while I had my mic muted, and my wife goes, "Harry Payne." That's what everyone called me in high school. And so I thought that was really funny too. So I just wanted everyone to know about that joke. She's got her headphones in. She doesn't know what I'm saying right now. She doesn't know I'm telling you. But I thought that was really funny. A1 joke. I thought you guys deserved to know.
If the camera goes blank all of a sudden,
if it does, if I disappear, you know what happened to me.
It's been nice knowing you.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
So other than
there's a guy up in Newcastle who's just had a medical. Up in Newcastle that could have done that. Yeah.
Wait, they could have done what?
Kieran
I wouldn't. I don't know. 30. Do you guys really want a 31-year-old?
He has the pace.
You guys really want a 31-year-old?
Through his tours at the Prem when he was here.
I wasn't that impressed with him when we had him.
Yeah, he didn't like playing every other game, did he? When he was here last time,
because he was injured.
With Kyle Walker.
He was being forced to play.
But he doesn't have the pace to get up and down, up and back, and up and back.
Neither does Ashley Young.
I don't know. I thought Ashley Young
I'm
was
not
quite
sure.
You guys have made me really glad I brought my controller and I have my PlayStation 1 emulator on my laptop. I'll be playing some FIFA 2005 later tonight. I'll probably broadcast it just for fun, just to get the Steve Bronk and the dream team back together.
Jens, it's his birthday today.
Yeah, did you know that, Jens? It's Steve Bronk's birthday today.
42, and he's still playing in the fifth tier of France. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. We all need to get kits from that team. I think.
How'd they get on this weekend?
Oh my God! Think we get Steve Bronk as a guest on the show?
That would be
amazing. Jens could even get Gary Stevens, let alone Steve Bronk.
I hate to say this, and I hate to say this. I know
I groomed him, and he said, "No, I get so many offers."
Steve Bronk's a nobody. I hate to say it like that, but I mean, I don't think he's getting offers to be on streams like every other week.
We're not going to get him now, are we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Edit that bit out.
Yeah, you saw that.
No, sorry. Like I said, blame Sailor Jerry for that one. Okay?
No, he agrees to come on the show, and then just to prepare himself, he goes and watches this episode.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, it's the Sailor Jerry's fault, and I have COVID, and I'm in a bad mood.
I've got an idea, guys. What we'll do is we'll get Jens to do a quiz on Steve Bronk next week, and then we'll clip it and send it to his social media.
Yeah.
And then get him on after that. That's what we'll do.
Would you like to comment, Steve?
I'm just saying he's not like one of the English boys who's getting asked on a regular basis to do this kind of thing.
What's the name of his club, Rez?
So it's Limonest Saint Didier.
So
put that in the private chat, will you?
He's probably getting asked every week to go on Limondi Diddy's podcast, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
But don't you think he probably fondly remembers his times at Spurs and wants to,
Should we do that next week randomly? Like, don't tell anyone, and then we'll instead of a Spurs podcast, we'll do a Lemonique.
Let me talk shit. Let me talk shit about him again, just like I did today, and then pop him on.
We'll talk about their latest game with the result up and the team lineup, and we'll talk like we know all their players and stuff.
And we'll have a punch up. He and I will have a punch up
before their winter break. So the last game they played would have been on. Why are these not in order? Last game they played was against a club called Vaux. And they drew 1-1 away. They are not doing wonderfully well in National 3. They are 10th out of 12, and the club that they drew with Vaux are bottom of the table.
Do we know where Steed plays?
It's only one person's fault, really. It's Levy's fault.
He's a midfielder.
Daniel Levy, you son of a gun.
Yeah.
But hey, Alan,
It's
I just
money.
wanted to say, Alan, that is a wonderful coat. Just I'll only touch on it for a second. You look very sharp. That's a nice coat you got on, mate.
Got the crest on.
Is there a butt?
Dude, I got one on my hat somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yours is actually a badge. Mine is sewn on.
I got one on my bottle opener.
Oh, yeah.
I got a bottle, but no opener.
I've
And,
got one.
unfortunately-
No, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to turn it Channel 5 again.
I got a
Unfortunately,
tattoo also, but yeah, I can't really show you guys. It's in an awkward spot. It's right above my knee. But Brez has seen it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Reg.
No wonder you got
Yeah.
COVID,
You
Rez.
two are very close.
Right. We were really hanging out, if you know what I mean. letting it all
Tell
hang
me
out.
about Christian Eriksen's wife again.
Yeah, what did you say? Describe her. I can't really see that well. Yeah.
Maybe that's what you do, Jens, to Gary Stevens. You say we'll get Mrs. Eriksson to finish him off, and that'll get him on the show. That's what I mean.
Unless we do a Gary Stevens quiz next or 2 weeks time, and then we try and lure him with the same tactic, see if it works.
Unfortunately, obviously we're all members of the Limonest faithful, so we were all bitterly disappointed when we were knocked out of the French Cup by all there.
Damn it.
40.
Oh yeah. It gutted.
Terrible. It was a bad result for us.
I almost harikari'd myself before the show started because
But
I was.
listen, this is the life of a Diddy man. That's what.
I'm a
Is that
little
what
bit
they call
disappointed,
themselves,
actually,
Diddy
Rez.
men?
Rez, I'm a little bit disappointed that you haven't
Yeah.
mentioned that in July 2021, the club merged with neighbouring club
What?
AS Dardilly, and they're now FC Limonest Dardilly Saint-Didier.
They are. We are.
Well, we're only finding this
yeah.
out now.
We are. Yes, we are. Thank
Yeah,
you,
we
guys.
are,
for
we
putting
are.
the we.
We are.
I'm from the Dardilly region of.
Well, no. This is the thing. The problem is that obviously the Dardillies, they're sort of like the Fulham of the fifth tier. You know, they're a bit, yeah, exactly. You know, they're sort of like in the shadows.
Sorry if I made your show a little bit less professional than usual. I wanted to go ahead and follow up.
That's
Yeah,
a funny
I'm
one.
This is maybe the drunkest I've ever been on stream. So just
You
don't
obviously
judge
don't
me.
visit that often, Colin.
Yeah.
Do what?
No, you're on
Don't
safe
visit
footing there,
enough.
mate. You're all right.
All right,
Mate,
good.
You've improved the professionalism.
No
if
idea.
anything. Yeah.
You have no idea.
Okay. I've had way more to drink than I will usually have on stream. So thank you guys for putting up with me.
No problem at all. Who's sneezing in the background there? Is that Mrs. Clare, is it?
That's Mrs. Collin over there. Yeah.
It's Mrs. Eriksson.
Yeah.
No,
She's
don't
here.
enjoy yourself.
Don't.
I was gonna say I've actually managed to get Christian on for next week's show, but I'm not 100%
Not
sure
Not
he's
anymore,
coming
yeah.
on.
Imagine
Not
that, yeah.
anymore. Not anymore.
Again,
No,
can you get his missus
Can
on
you-
instead? Because we're not
Gee,
interested.
that's what I was going to say. Yeah, could you get his missus instead?
Oh God, I love you guys. You
So
guys are
yeah,
good.
so
This-
all the yeah, so obviously, you know, there are one or two Dardillies sort of in the
dear.
faithful. We've welcomed them. We've given them hot tea to drink and, you know, kindness and consideration, and there will be counselling for some of them too. So yeah, it's fine, but we are still Diddy men. All right, that's what we are.
always and forever.
Diddy men till I die.
I wish I could
Diddy
make a
men till
D,
we
but I can't
die.
figure out how
I
to.
know I am. I swear I am. I'm Diddy men till we die.
Yeah.
What are their
Yeah.
colours? They're not red, are they?
No, please don't let them be.
Let me have a look.
Come on, Jens. Gee,
Barf
Jens,
all over myself if they are.
Reg,
Let's
Get
have
on
a
with
look.
it.
Fuck
Let's
off,
have a look.
Aaron. I'm just kidding.
How to win friends and influence people.
Colours are not red, are they? Come on, drum roll.
Hold on, let's have a look.
Too much red in Jens's life with the old Denmark nonsense. Jens, have you seen
No,
South
no.
Park rip on Denmark all the time?
Yes.
No, but-
Yeah.
Wait,
don't
I've
they?
seen them rip on Canada. Did they rip on Denmark
Yeah, they
too?
rip on Denmark about them
White and
controlling the
blue.
internet. About
White
the
and
controlling
blue.
the internet, yeah. Oh, they're white and
Blue
blue.
and
white.
Oh, good.
Oh, blue
Well,
and white.
my
Yeah,
other
white.
They're
another
our
one of
first
my
team,
good
boys.
friends. Another of my good friends Danny Kiriakou, he lives not too far from there. I mean, not lives, but his wife hails from Holland, which isn't too far from Denmark, right? I mean, that's just a country away, right?
Well, that's
where
not
Jens
too
is.
far from where I live.
Jens is
See?
in Holland. Yeah.
In Holland.
Yeah, you and Danny Kiriakou should meet up to do a stream. That'd be awesome.
You ready, guys?
You could get a clip-on ban, Jens.
Do you want to?
I'm gonna try to get that.
Lee from Only Fools and
My
Horses.
lovely wife is trying to fix my lighting situation right now. As an angel, she is.
Do you guys want to?
yeah.
Do you want to see what we as Diddy faithful actually wear?
Yeah.
You want to see? All right. There we go.
Try it off.
Turn it off.
See, it's better like that.
Is that our home kit and away kit? Is it?
Yep. From
So they've got a Portsmouth
good.
away kit, a Tottenham home kit, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everton away, and
something
then
else. Yeah.
and that third kit is something else. Yeah.
So it's not bad. It's not bad. You know.
I must
These are our lads. These are our lads. Here we go.
Where's Steve?
Somewhere I don't know.
Do you think? Hey, how much would I have to up my fitness?
Very.
Do you think for me to make that team?
Okay.
Probably a fair amount, I would say.
I love me some football. I used to play quite a bit, but I don't know if the fifth tier of French football is my level or not. I don't know. I'm a midfielder if that counts. But I was a traditional midfielder in that I like to really get up and down the pitch.
If we're judging Ndombele on the elite sportsman,
This is our crest.
All right, hey, let's get the shirts
I think we've
printed.
got one of our guys.
tattoo, Colin.
Looks like they've.
If I get the tattoo, do you think Seed Mel Bronk will come on the show?
It's more likely to. It can't harm, can it?
You said about him.
Yeah. Can't harm,
Hey. We won't show him that bit. He's not going to watch all of our shows. He's not going to watch all of every
How
minute.
do you know?
He's one of the subscribers.
He's got better things. He's got better things to do, right?
No, he's a media professional. You know, he's been trained. You know, he does his research. You know, make sure he knows all of the people. He'll know all of our names before he comes on. You know,
You're making me feel
you,
bad.
And
You're
you called him a nobody, Colin. How could
You're repeating it? You're
Could
making
you?
it worse. You're making me feel bad.
Terrible you are.
That's it.
I'm just saying he's no Steve Perryman, okay? He's not Steve Perryman. Is all I'm saying.
He's not.
No, there ain't many of them out there, Colin.
That's true. They
You
broke
know,
the mold
that's-
when they made Steve.
I guess a nobody was harsh, but what I meant was, he's not like one of the English boys. He's not like one of the the guys that bleeds Tottenham out of his straight out of his heart with every beat.
Okay, I was worried that you were going to say somewhere else there.
Me too. Hey, me too. I edited myself in real time. I used to work for TV.
I think we upset Harry Payne. He got upset and he's left because we went to football. Sorry, Harry.
Come back.
I do that all the time. I did that earlier on Tommy's show. I made somebody leave. I'm really sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
No.
Speaking of Harry, apparently Harry Kane's brother was in the away end last night, and he got a few people going up to him.
Harry Kane's brother. What
Yeah.
Hope we got bopped. I don't know if they call it.
No,
bopped
he was.
in the
He got a
UK,
lot
but,
of complimentary comments about his agency
Yeah.
style. Apparently.
Yeah, I know bopped can mean a couple of different things, but
we would say slapped or smacked.
I hope he got smacked then for being with the Chelsea.
You got to say it in the right way. Slapped.
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 Sounded so Aussie again. Damn it! Why
No,
can't
that wasn't bad. Try it again. Opie got a slap.
I went to a pharmacy yesterday, and the lady goes, "Oh, your English is perfect. Are you Australian?" And I went, "No."
You should say g'day, mate.
I was like, "Where's all the roos? Where's all the kangaroos?"
Kangaroos and the koalas, mate.
Right. Because as an Australian, you would come to the UK to look for kangaroos.
And the sun.
Yeah, you wouldn't find the sun.
No.
Sorry, Harry Payne. I'm really sorry if I upset you, man.
Harry, who
I'm
here
sure
knows
you're a
the
good person.
situation? That was hilarious.
No, what's going on with that?
You were
Can you
there for
explain
Terry. You were there for Terry Dodds, weren't you, Colin?
No, but I've heard
No?
tell of the Terry Dodds.
Go
Oh,
on, tell the
situation on-
story, Rez.
This was on Mari's Love Lounge, I think it was. Yeah, it was on Mari's Love Lounge, and it was
Man,
after
hey,
the
just
game.
real quick. Can I interrupt you for 1 second? I'm dying
Right.
for one of those licorice cigarettes, my dude. But
You
man,
have to wait until we meet up. I'm still in quarantine.
I'll just reach up and grab it from you.
Okay, there you go.
Wouldn't that be
Okay.
cool if I just had one in my fingers and you guys?
Yeah.
No, but
So Terry Dodds, it was on Mari's Love Lounge after the West Ham game, and the guy was obviously just playing; it wasn't real. But yeah, he claimed to be this West Ham supporter who was really angry, and he was so pissed off that he was going to start smashing up his flat and get arrested and all of this stuff. And it just went on this sort of long narrative in which he smashed up his flat, did things to his cat. The police arrived.
Good things to his cat. I missed
and then-
that part.
yeah,
I love
and then,
cats. So are cats.
then he broke out and he was on the run and stuff like that. And there were one or two of the people in there basically who seemed to think that he was genuine about what he was saying. But yeah, anyway. Yes,
Scotty.
go back and watch that episode of Mari's Love Lounge, and you'll see it. It was pretty funny.
Can you put the link in the chat?
Well, you need
Come
to
on,
find
man. You've probably got them all, mate, because you're such a media whore that you are.
No, God, no, I don't.
Hey, I'm almost as bad. I'm almost as bad.
No one's as bad. So Colin, what game was it that we were at, LJ? And we were waiting for Rez. He hadn't responded on our group, and on all the other WhatsApp groups, Rez was popping up saying, "Yeah, this, that, and the other," and then he just turns up and like nothing had happened, and started with us.
That sounds a lot like me.
Flat cat.
Started with us, and then he's
But,
just when something new and young and pretty comes along. Rez is taken by it, and off he goes.
He's essentially a magpie. Is that
Well,
what
hey,
you're saying?
well, hey, you guys.
There's some breaking
There you
news
go.
about Eric.
We would have had
Hang
you
on,
all
hang on.
for Curry.
Breaking
We would have had you all for
breaking
Curry
news.
the other day, but then you'd all have COVID with us, and I'm glad you don't. So
Breaking news.
It's not that exciting.
Oh.
He's training with a third-tier Swiss club, FC Chiasso.
Oh, was that Ericsson?
Yeah.
Okay.
What a prick comment to make, Jens. Bloody hell, I thought it was going to be good.
Oh, bless you, Bazza.
Basilford. That's his name.
Basilford. Now, what am I, a Care Bear or something?
No comment.
Oh, actually, what
Jens, are you doing a quiz this week, or do you want us to save it for next week?
Yeah, we
Yeah?
can do. Little one's a bit restless, so I might have
Who's
to cut out. But
at school? Barry.
I'm here. I'm
G.I. Barry.
the scores on the doors.
Who the hell's G.I. Barry?
literally, I'm in a fucking 15 by 15 foot hotel room for the next 7 days. So.
Oh my god! I swear
No.
podcast.
Whereabouts in London? Unbelievable swearing
But yeah, so
on
if
our
you need me,
podcast.
if y'all, I've been asking anybody who does the show to allow me onto their show, please, for the next week or so, just to keep me sane. You know what I mean? Yes, please. I was gonna say the flirting has been being a bit incessant. You're coming off a bit desperate, mate.
That's another
Aaron,
one.
you've not seen what Janine looks like, so come on.
True.
Jens is a massive improvement on
Step up.
Janine.
Right. Leslie Crowther steps up to the plate. Question
Here
one,
we go.
Jens. Are you ready, boys? And if Jens can't answer, we'll throw it open to the panel.
What's it on?
This is general knowledge this week.
General knowledge.
It's not like each question isn't out of 15. Oh, well, yeah, of course it is. It's out of 15 answers.
Yeah, it's out of loads of So the first question is 8 points available, actually, Jens. Who were the 8 Football Writers Association Player of the Year winners from Tottenham Hotspur? We've won it 8 times, the Football Writers.
Well, we know Della
8 points on offer. No.
Or did Della just get Young Player of the Year?
Christian Eriksen.
Nope.
Wow.
Jurgen Klinsmann.
Correct. 1 point.
Rafa van der Vaart.
Nope.
One Harold.
Dimitar Berbatov.
Aaron, all time. Aaron's asking which time period of all time. Who did you say? Darren Anderson.
Dimitar
No.
Berbatov.
No.
Dimitar
No.
Berbatov.
No. You got 1 out of 8 so far.
I'll pass.
I got a
One
couple.
player's won it twice. Go on in.
David
Yeah,
Ginola.
I've got a couple.
Harold.
Ginola. Yep. Ginola won it.
Harold Kane.
Nope.
No. Pat Jennings.
Then Dele. I
Pat
think.
Jennings. Yep. Alan's got one. Pat
Kim
Jennings.
Min Son.
Nope.
No.
Dele.
No.
Nope.
He must have just got
I'm
young
trying to
players.
think.
Oh,
How long
what's
did I
the
go
call?
back to?
So
John?
you've got Pat
Felix.
Jennings. You've got
Lineker.
Klinsmann, and Ginola, haven't you so far? Lineker,
Timmy
yeah.
Sheringham.
Lineker's one.
Timmy
Who said Lineker? Who said Lineker?
Baz.
Nick, you stop cheating.
Fuck
Teddy
off!
Sheringham.
I'm not cheating. Fucking
Hey,
no.
Don't
mate, I'm having
don't make,
this-
hey,
You're
don't
not
make
just
me
any
come
old
over
prick.
there.
You're a cheating prick.
Don't make me come over there and give you a real buzz cut, an
How
American
the
buzz
fuck
cut.
am I cheating when
Teddy
I'm writing
Sheringham.
down the fucking answer?
How far are we going back in?
no,
Does it go
Rez.
back to?
No,
Goes back for
really?
all time.
Hey,
Goes
hold on,
back-
put that up so I can read it. I can't tell if that was real or
Goes
not.
back for all
Leonardo?
time. No, he hasn't actually.
No, I've got one.
Oh, Paul Gascoigne.
Blanchflower.
No.
Danny Blanchflower won it twice, Alan.
What about one of the RG? What about one of the RG boys?
1957, 1958, 1960, and 61. Danny Blanchflower won it.
What about
Dave
Ozzy?
Mackay.
What about Ozzy Ideas?
No, Ozzy Ardiles hasn't won it.
Dave
Jimmy
Mackay.
Green.
Mabba.
No.
Bobby
You
Smith.
mentioned him earlier. We mentioned him on the show earlier.
Bobby Smith.
Steve Malbranck.
Steve Malbranck.
Steve Perryman, yeah,
Perryman.
correct. Rez Perryman.
Not Steve Malbranck.
No.
We love
Steve,
Steve
hey,
Malbranck.
Steve, if you're watching, this is the part we want you to watch.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
part we want. Yeah,
This is the part where we met
How
for you
many
to see.
are you up to, John? How many we got?
6 out of 8. Aaron's got it, but don't look.
Clive Allen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for
Clive
the eighth one, can you give us a
49.
time? Can you give us a time period, man?
Clive Allen. So you haven't got the person that won it in 1972, 73. There's the year that he won it.
Okay.
Alfie Conn.
Okay.
No.
Alan Gilsey.
No.
Oh, Martin Chivers.
No.
Was that a bit
Well,
early?
there's a
It
clue.
wasn't
Kev-
Shivers.
Here's a clue. Kev's mate.
Kev's mate.
Kev loves him. He's his idol. His all-time idol. When Kev did his White Hot Memory line, he's the person on the front cover. He's all-time
Gilsey?
favourite player. No, Kev's all-time favourite player. He met him in a newsagents.
Pat Jennings. No, we've already done Pat Jennings.
Yeah, Pat Jennings. Yeah, Pat Jennings.
Yeah, but I said
but
Pat
you said
Jennings.
Pat
as well.
Jennings.
Did we? All right.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, you've got Danny Blanchflower won it twice. Pat Jennings, Steve Perryman, Clive Allen, Gary Lineker, Jurgen Klinsmann, David Ginola, and the one you're missing,
Oh, God, hold on.
2012-13 season.
Robbie Keane.
No.
Gareth Bale.
Luka Modric.
Gareth Bale,
Gareth
yeah.
Bale.
Colin,
Gareth Bale.
yeah.
Thank God I got something out of that.
Right. How many did he get? One, wasn't it, Nick? Or did he get
One,
Yeah,
mate. I was.
I've
got
I
two.
was-
Better
I
than I
was
usually
able
do
to
on these
cheat
quizzes,
to
that's for sure.
count.
I got two.
Right. Question 2. Which 4
Oh.
players have scored 20 or more European goals for Tottenham Hotspur? This is Jens, first of all, boys. before you
Jens
jump in.
only. First.
Jens
Jens
only.
only.
I want to get a yellow card for this. I want to get a yellow card like Nasser Chadley for doing this.
Okay. You won't.
Garth Crooks.
No.
What? You read the question, Jens, or you?
Which 4 players have scored 20 or more European goals for Tottenham Hotspur?
Hey, Jens is in Holland. They
Yeah, I
have-
named
they
one
have
of
the
them
Cook Cup
Garth
over there.
Crooks.
No.
Okay. Berbatov.
Ooh. Ooh. No. 2 more
Wow.
guesses.
I don't know, one.
I've got 3.
No one likes to show off.
Greaves.
shit.
Reece?
Sorry.
No.
Didn't mean to be show off.
No, I'll give up.
Alan, do you want to?
Martin Chivers
Correct.
Jermaine
22
Defoe.
goals, 23 goals,
and Harry Kane.
43 goals, top European goal scorer. You're
Top
missing
54.
one. Can anyone think of the fourth one?
Could it be Sonny?
Yeah.
What's
Is he an
when
Irish?
did he play?
Is he an Irish bloke?
No,
Could it be Sonny?
Bobby Smith.
Sonny. Yeah, correct
No.
answer. Sonny. Well done, Alan. That's 4 points for Alan, isn't it? There.
Hey, Alan, proud of you.
So can
bud.
Alan start
That was
doing
a
these
good
quizzes instead?
No,
Hey,
I've got to go.
hey,
I've got
Alan.
to go.
I'm also jealous of your vape. Where'd you get your vape set up at? I'm looking to get set up myself here while I'm here.
God, Alan this, Alan that. Colin, you're obsessed with the man. He's
Well,
not
I
Steve
love
Mel-
it.
It's not Steve
Okay.
Mel Bronk, you know. He's not Steve Mel Bronk.
LJ, swap us over because we can be
Banana
underneath
waffle.
it.
Yeah.
Me and Rez were talking about how it's hard to find a good vape juice in the UK because they're all.
I got mine. I got
Strawberry
mine
and
now.
banana waffle.
You found it? Okay. Well,
Oh, yeah.
PM me because I've got
Have
a
you got your-
nicotine addiction, but
got a
smoking
mod?
isn't quite working for me these days.
Have you got a
so-
mod?
Yeah, I brought it.
Okay.
What's Paul Weller got to do with this?
No, you silly Billy.
Right, question 3. Jens, can you name the 7 players that have worn Tottenham Hotspur's number 10 shirt in the Premier League era? 7 players that have worn the number 10 shirt.
Robbie Keane?
Correct.
Jermaine
4.
Defoe?
No.
Or was he 18?
Yeah, he didn't wear the
Yeah,
10.
he was 18, wasn't he?
That's what I said. There's goals in that shirt, boy. It's a
Can we
can.
take?
No.
Berbatov.
Correct.
No, actually.
No?
No.
Number 9.
Or mine.
I must be on some of that Holland stuff. Like, yeah.
Nah. You'd
Should we
lost me.
we'll go through it in a year order then. And I'll try and give you clues. Unless you guys want to guess before I give you the little clues and go through it in order.
Sheringham,
Correct.
Kane,
Correct.
Van der Vaart.
Ericsson. No, Ericsson's 23. I'm on drugs. Sorry.
23,
Don't worry about me. Don't worry about
Adebayor,
Correct.
Darren Anderton.
No.
No. Mido.
No.
No,
me. Oh, that was a good guess, though. Very, very good guess with me, though.
that's. I'm trying to.
Paul Mahorn.
Pavlyuchenko.
Roman Pavlyuchenko.
No, he was 13, wasn't he?
Well,
What?
let's go for it. So 90,
Right.
93 to 97, it was worn by Teddy.
Sheringham.
Oh, sorry, Teddy.
97 to 99, it was worn by Celeste Ferdinand.
Oh, of course it was.
Of
Yeah,
course.
99 to 2001, Stefan Everson.
Did he wear 10?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
2001 to 2003, Teddy Sheringham was back with the number 10 shirt.
So he's on the list twice. That's not fair.
Aaron, you must be able to know who was next from 2003 to 2008. Who wore the number 10 shirt? from
Robbie
2003?
Keane.
Robbie King.
Robbie Keane, yep.
Oh,
I
hey,
said that
everyone,
first, didn't
hey, on Channel 4, it's on right now. So if you guys want to watch Channel
Or
4,
naked Attraction, or whatever it's called.
yeah.
Speaking of penises, naked penises, Darren Bent wore it 2008 to
Oh, of course
2009.
he did. Yeah.
Then Robbie Keane was back 2009 to 11. Manu Adebayor 11 to 15, and then Harry Kane from 2015 to date.
There you go. There you is.
Jens, I think you might get this one actually, Jens. Which 6 players were sold by Leeds United to Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League era? You got
Willem Corsten?
6 to get. No, mate.
Sorry?
No.
No. Danny
Where
Rose.
did Corsten
Correct.
come from?
Corsten came from Leeds.
Came from Holland, didn't he?
No, he came from
Danny
Leeds.
Rose came from Leeds.
Yeah, Danny Rose.
Jack Clark.
Correct.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't even get on the bench last night. We had 2 goalies on there.
Robbie King.
Correct. Yep. It's 3.
Is it? On the end. Very strict.
Are we?
No.
That
Welcome,
coughing is.
Greg.
Yeah, that coughing is. Susie, quick, get the Google going.
He's sick. That's why I've been looking after the little one. Leeds.
England's number 1.
Oh, Robbo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. The rest of them, I don't know.
You do?
Aaron Lemon.
Lennon.
Lennon, yeah.
And
Robbie
that's a
King.
good
And-
shout.
And the 6th and final one, David Kerslake.
David Kerslake. That's
I
right.
thought he
That
came from
would have
Blackburn.
never.
But Corsten did come from
you could've-
Leeds. I
you
don't know
could've
if he was in the
dangled-
Premier
You could
League.
have dangled $1 million in front of my face. I would have never come up with that.
David Kerslake. Linking on from what Colin said earlier, this is the last question. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were going into like 500
No,
questions.
no. We've got beds to go to with Christian Eriksen's wife. Which
We wish.
which 6 footballers have won the PFA Young Player of the Year with Tottenham Hotspur?
Right.
Harry
Jens.
Kane.
Correct.
I got 3 off the top of my head.
Ega Guma. Chris
That's good,
Gilmore.
actually.
Did Gaguna play for Spurs?
Young Player of the Year.
I'm saying hello to our guests, being polite,
Yes.
not being
I
rude.
know. It's all right, Basil.
Aaron Lennon.
Hey, Aaron Lennon is a player that got me into Spurs. So just
No,
hopefully-
no, he's not on there.
No? Okay.
No.
Steve Perryman.
No, I don't think he did. He's not on the list anyway.
Oh, really? Okay. Glenn Hoddle.
Correct. If he was, it's just cost us any opportunity of getting him on our podcast. Fine, go
Stevens?
and hang around Vancouver on that lot. No, Gary Stevens is not on there. He should have been though, yeah, shouldn't he? We'll clip that and send it to him. He was one of the best young players ever to represent us. And if ever I got a chance to speak to him in the years to come, I'd love to, because he's one of my favourite ever Tottenham Hotspur players.
Young
Gary
players.
Stevens. Especially the
I'm
best
so
one
glad
that
we bought
lives
him
in
Brighton
Thailand
and
right
Hove
now.
Albion.
Yeah,
You live in Thailand now?
does.
Ah, lucky.
No,
you.
he's coaching in Vietnam apparently.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Kiva. I've just seen his
He's
comment.
certainly one of the nicest people that's ever played for Tottenham Hotspur, Gary Stevens. And if I were to be running my own podcast, I'd love to have Gary Stevens on rather than Steve Perryman. Anyone can get Steve Perryman, can't they, Kiva? That's brilliant. And Gaguma's just slammed him though, look. I love Harry Redknapp. His face is so cute looking.
Graham Roberts.
Chivik. No.
One
No,
last
he wasn't a
question.
youngster.
Who have you got? You got Glenn Hoddle and Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Steve Perryman as well, wasn't it?
He didn't win it.
You didn't? Okay. No,
Mate.
I'll give up.
So 1979-80 was Glenn Hoddle. The next winner was 1987-88. If anyone wants to guess from that year.
Clive Allen?
No, the year after.
Paul Gascoigne?
Correct.
Gareth Bale?
What clue can I give you for this one?
Gareth
So
Bale,
the next one was 2011-2012.
Gareth Bale.
No, the year before that, it was won by a Tottenham player as well. I can't think of a clue to
Oh.
give you actually. He recently wished Tottenham Happy New Year on his Instagram.
Ian Walker.
Wrong
Kyle
one.
Walker.
Kyle
Oh.
Walker. You keep getting those mixed up, don't you, Alan? Your
Yeah,
Ians and your Kyles.
I
was
hated
gonna
Ian.
pick
I
up
hated
on-
Ian as well. I hated Ian Walker.
Did you? Is it because he had the nice curtains?
No, I actually, the only time I've ever phoned up a
Careful
radio
what you say
station,
because we want to get him on the podcast.
we are in talk. We are in
the only time
talk.
I ever
with
phoned
Ian
a radio
Walker as we
station up,
speak. Yeah,
they was
I've
talking
actually
about-
got Ian Walker. I've got Ian Walker on the phone right now. You know, so be careful.
Careful what you say. Go on.
Bye, Ian.
It's right.
No,
Wait,
but I
one
actually went on
second,
the
Ian.
radio station and they're approaching the World Cup. I can't remember what one. And they said, "Would you take Ian Walker?" And I went, "No, I wouldn't take him."
Yeah,
He's-
speak to you later, mate.
The
Sorry.
minute they take a shot outside the
He's
area,
gone. Ian Walker's out. We need another guest.
he's too easily beaten from outside the area. He got beaten too easily.
It's like Joe Hart, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the big problem with Walker is whenever he made a fuck up or whenever he let an easy goal in, that smirk on his face was just
Yeah.
He had a nice missus as well, didn't he? Like a page 3
Yes,
girl,
he did.
Susie
Yeah.
Walker.
Yeah.
I remember her name.
That's right.
I don't know if
The only person likely to come on here is Mrs. Ericsson because we've been very
Because she's the only person we've been complimentary about.
yeah.
and Mrs. Hoybier, we were loving her.
Well, I
last
don't
week.
know,
Never could
LJ. You
find a
keep
picture.
telling us this story about a picture that no one's actually seen. So
I'll tell
Actually,
you,
there'll be-
there was a
there'll be
picture out
someone
the other day. Is in front of a Christmas tree. It was Hoybier, his missus, and his kid in front of a Christmas
I reckon
tree.
there's one other person we could get. He's not a sportsman, but I reckon Rory Bellend would love to come on.
Who?
Rory Bellend, the Chelsea twat.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, can't see him getting on. I did ask a friend of mine. She does, on ITV4 when you got Love Island. Love Island next on Love Island. We've got
Yeah.
the girl that does the voiceovers. She's a friend of mine. I did ask her if she fancied coming on, but she said no.
she'd probably
football
get
fan.
She's been
Yeah.
on Last Word on Spurs and the Spurs show and stuff like that.
Okay,
Mm.
interesting.
but we'd probably perv over her too much. Is that what you're saying, LG?
Yeah, I'm sure you boys can be trusted.
No, we can't be trusted around anything, mate.
Okay. Okay.
What was Gaz saying last night? Can we get her on? What's her name?
Who?
Well, I don't know. There's so many fucking messages that I've got to scroll back through in our group. That the one that was presenting the game last night with Dawson.
Yeah.
Thingy
The
Woods.
the Arsenal fan that does the Talk Sport
Thingy
breakfast.
Woods, no?
Laura Woods, yeah. Kuva, you could be mistaken for thinking that you're watching Shellside Spurs because Rez is actually on this week. Yeah, I see what you mean. It's a rare occasion to actually find him on his own channel, but he's been ill, so his movements have been somewhat stifled this week. So we've managed to tie him down.
Yes, they lashed me to my chair. I can't actually get up. It's true.
And you joke, Aaron, but I used to have that haircut.
Yeah.
I still love it. It's more of a Nick Barmby sort of Ian Walker variant now. It's like a mixture between the two. I'm sure Jens will testify that I
Just
did
a
have
quick
that
thing,
haircut.
actually. Just I want to go back. I want to go back to what Jens was saying about William Corsten. Yeah, before coming to Spurs, you're right, Jens. Corsten did actually play for Leeds, but he was on loan to them.
Okay. All right.
Do you know who? Do you know who from? From
Ajax.
a recent Dutch opponent of
Vitesse.
ours who, but
Vitesse.
Vitesse, yeah,
Really?
bunch of twats.
Yeah.
Carry on, sorry.
Where did we get to?
very
So we were doing the young players of the year. Glenn Hoddle, 97-80. Paul Gascoigne, 87-88 season. Kyle Walker, 2011-12 season.
Yeah.
We won it the following year with the Monkey God,
Gareth Bale.
2012-13. Harry Kane won it 2014-15. And Bamadeli Ali won it twice in 2015-16 and 2016-17. And what a fall from grace that's been, eh?
Yeah.
Hasn't progressed into the adult game at all. Poor guy.
God, look at this. What are you being brought, Alan? That looks quite a cup of tea and something.
It's probably Colin. Probably Colin's round there. He's fucking loving him, wasn't he? He's all over
Yeah.
him. What's Colin
Oh,
done?
look at your bedspread. Look at your curtains. Oh, I love it. Love it, Alan.
I want to be you, Alan. Is Colin passed out? Is he gone?
I think there might be Wi-Fi restrictions because he's
Oh,
using
right.
his hotel's Wi-Fi. So I
Okay.
think it might-
Or he wanted to go and watch Naked Attraction.
or maybe
in
wanted to go
peace,
and
without cameras watching him.
Just a little bit of supper, lads.
Breaking
Right?
news. I
Haven't
thought
eaten
you were going to
today.
do breaking news. Alan, what's this breaking news? What have you got for us?
No, I've just got a bit of toast to go to bed with because I've had a bad day.
Oh.
I can't eat a lot.
There's always tomorrow, mate. There's always tomorrow.
Another
Did,
day of Tottenham not being linked with anyone or signing anyone.
Have you got any IT? Have you got any ITK for us today, Alan, from your contacts around the world? Your
No, I've
scouting
not heard.
boffins and
I've not
networks?
heard absolutely anything apart from what I sent you the other day.
That's ominous, isn't it?
I heard a little bit earlier. One of the guys on the Spurs community, who's quite well known as in the know and doesn't talk a lot of shit, knows a fair bit, but he was having a pop at all of the people on there who are trying to twist his words and stuff like that. But he was saying that he has heard that there will be 3 in and 3 out, but no names as such.
Right.
And obviously that's not promised because, as he said, things can turn 180 in like 5 minutes. So, but I think that would be nice.
Fresh blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Needed.
3 out as well, which I think
if you
Bamadelli
look,
should be one of them.
if you look at it last night, the guys that weren't involved, Joe Roden didn't come on, did he? Dele Alli didn't come on.
Yeah.
Jack Clark maybe didn't even make the squad, did he?
No.
Yeah.
And Stevie,
Oh,
I'm
that's
sure.
what
I don't
happened,
think Stevie's injured. I think he's off. I think a deal's been agreed to Ajax or somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't think he's injured. He didn't. We were at the game, didn't we? Nothing. He didn't look injured, did he? Nothing happened. He didn't get tackled by anyone. He didn't sort of pull up after any runs or anything. And suddenly he's injured. He hasn't been featuring at all, has he? So I reckon Stevie, Dele, and Joe Roden out.
Trix is saying that what's it called? That was it? I was just reading it. That Davinson is surplus.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing.
What, Sanchez?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah!
Amazing.
Who said that?
Trix from
Trix.
SC, who's quite.
He's
He doesn't get everything on the money, but he's one of the more reliable ones.
Yeah.
Probably the most reliable one.
Blimey.
Yeah.
We've gone on quite a long time, so let's bring it to a close. What are we going to get on Sunday against Morecambe? Nick, are you taking the kids or not? Have you decided against it in the end?
No, mate, I don't have any kids. I'm going to Barnet on Saturday. Going to watch a bit of.
Oh yeah. Who
a
are they
bit of
playing?
Barnet. They are playing Boreham Wood, I think.
Yeah, they played Boreham Wood last week.
Big
I
game.
don't know who they're playing. I can't remember.
Jens is a keen Bees fan.
Who are they playing?
upset.
Jens?
Used to go there many years ago.
St Albans?
Um,
I don't know.
Who are they playing?
Hang on, I've got
Altrincham.
Altrincham. Are you sure?
Yeah. Yes, I'm positive.
Is it called the Hive? That ground, isn't it? The Hive. I'm
It's where,
sure it is.
it's where the women play, yeah.
Yeah, the women play, isn't it? And the old Mike Ashley lives around the corner from it.
Does he?
I took his daughter home from college once.
Did she ask you
and it's
to, or
literally
just grab
No,
it?
it's just- no, he's having it.
You're out too late. Get in the car.
Mike Ashley wants you home straight away.
I used to go when they played at Underhill.
You are 100% correct, Jens.
Makes a change.
Well, yeah, apart from calling me a prick, but yeah.
All right, ladies. Fucking hell.
The last time they played them, they beat them 5-0 back in 2014. So that'd be nice.
What's on your head, Barry? Well, Aaron, it looks better than what was on my head. What was on my head the other day? Let's just put it like
Aaron
that.
getting raw.
Yeah.
It's proper army regulation, that, Nick. I tell you. I don't know what it reminds me of.
A soldier?
Oh, soldier.
So no, I'm not going back to the point. I'm not taking the kids. I don't have the kids, and I will probably be on my own. So maybe I might decide on Sunday to take a little trip to get a few loyalty points to boost the loyalty points up.
I doubt
And
it.
maybe
I'll
get
tell you with
another
it.
free chicken goujon. You never know.
No. Shh. Where's shh?
Sorry. I mean, a completely fully paid for chicken goujon.
I don't want someone coming through my window and fucking taking me out. Like the camera goes out and everything else.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I
Yeah,
think
all of
it's
a sudden,
safe. It's Alan that Colin likes. You're okay. Don't worry about it.
No. It'd be Levy demanding payment for that spare chicken
Goujon.
goujon that Barry in no way got for free at all.
Yeah. and also, I just had an email pop up, and this was from Tottenham, and I thought, oh my god, they've like put a stop on my season ticket or something. You know.
What was it?
Yeah.
50% off when you buy £100 or more or some bullshit, was it?
Yeah. You got a £5 gift voucher on when you spend £3,000 or more.
That's right.
Buy 2 shirts and pay full price for both.
I've just read a great thing on Twitter.
Buy one, get
Get
one.
the same for the same price.
I've just read a great thing on Twitter about Man United, about the squad falling out with Cristiano Ronaldo. And what's his name? Harry Maguire is one of the main ones. And apparently one of the biggest bust-ups they had was when Ronaldo asked Harry Maguire if the biggest piece of silverware he'd want was Greek handcuffs on his wrist.
Brilliant. You love to see it. You
I
love to
don't
see
think
it.
Ronaldo's that clever, is he?
Nah,
Think
probably
of
not.
that. No.
Probably not. That's a great line.
So on to score predictions. I'm going to say I'm going to go with Mr. Daigle and what he's been saying for every game, and that's 4-1.
Yeah.
Honour of Bob Spur.
Yeah.
So 4-1.
I've just got these horrible thoughts in my head about the Mura game. Our backup team isn't very good, is it?
No.
Jens, Morecambe score.
2-1 Spurs.
Aaron Dabb's gone 4-1.
Always, it's like it always is against the lower opposition in the last few years.
It'll be a slog.
It'll be a slog, and but we'll probably finish them off in the end. But 2-1
The only
Spurs.
finishing off we want is Mrs. Eriksson. Can we just make that?
Scarlett and Scarlett's injured, isn't he? So
Is he?
Makinde might get a game. So I'll go for him.
Who's going to play up front? Because if Stephen Bergwijn's injured and Harry Kane presumably won't play,
Makinde.
does that mean Sonny's going to have to play again?
Yeah.
Or more up front?
Yeah.
Who can play up front?
Isn't it?
Literally, we've got no one. We've got no one.
This is the state of our squad. The state of our squad. That we're
I reckon we should play Doherty's older brother, Gary.
It might have to be
The ginger fella.
Scott's mate up front. To be honest, Lucas Moura might be the only option we've got up front. I think he's the only guy that can play up there, isn't he? Really?
Yeah.
Gaguma's gone 3-1. Scott's gone 6-0. Kuva has gone 1-1 penalty shootout. Doherty losing by hitting a floodlight.
LJ, we've got breaking. I've got some breaking news.
Hang on. Go on, Nick.
We have a very special guest joining us any second now.
Oh yeah.
Well, just as we're about to end.
Yes, just as we're about to end, but just to come on and just say hello, and we'd be welcoming. So
Is it Oxford United's favourite? Daughter.
No, Oxford United's favourite daughter. So no, carry on. Because I've bigged it up now, so carry on. Moura with a hat trick.
No way. Are you ever going to see Scott back in Moura again? Chris Ogbonga's gone 3-1.
I'm gonna
I fancy the same 3-1.
I'm gonna do a Bob Spur 4-1, and see where the cards lay.
Who's going to play? If you think are we going to play the players that are potentially going out? Like your Rodons, Tanganga will probably play again, won't he?
Yeah.
Davis will he have to play again? There's no left backs, is there?
Yeah, this is it. It's like, fuck's sake, what kind of a fucking club have we built?
Are you ready for this? Special guest,
Yes.
Ryan Daigle, as I live and breathe. How are you?
Johnny Einstein, life is good apart from our goddamn football club.
I mentioned you earlier. I was saying that apparently Ben Davies was the only one that was kind of trying to motivate them and organise them last night, wasn't he? You could hear him, but the rest kind of went doe-eyed and sort of ignored him, didn't they?
Well, mate, listen. Where me and Ben were sitting, we were like literally right on top of we were in the third row. The first two rows, they kind of had netting over to stop people getting towards the pitch. So first of all, Rez, are you okay, brother? You feeling better?
Better. Still dog tired, mate.
Oh, God. And Mr. Greatest Laugh on YouTube, it's great to see you. Barry, Sean, Nick, whatever your fucking name is today. Hello.
Alan,
Alan, always a pleasure. So yeah, getting back to it. So Ben Davies was really just trying to get this defence organised, the team motivated. He really was trying, and it was just falling on deaf ears.
Yeah, they were intimidated, weren't they, by the atmosphere? I said I feared when they put the high press on us. Those three playing out from the back, it had a disaster written all over it, didn't it? And played out as we all expected, unfortunately. Professional footballers in the Premiership who can't control and pass a football, it's not good, really, is it? I don't know how we've managed to accumulate them, but.
Oh, do you really want me to answer that question?
Somehow I know where this is going.
Yeah, mate. I think Stevie Wonder can see where I was going with this one, mate. It's listen. I don't know how many more ways we have to go around this. I don't know how many more times we have to see it. I don't know how many more times we have to go. This time is different. I don't know how many more. I just don't understand. It's fairly obvious. But yesterday, I mean, one thing I will say, and I've been saying it on everywhere I go, the away fans yesterday were just simply outstanding.
You could hear it on the screen.
Mate, I mean, it was my first time to Stamford Bridge ever, and hopefully my last, because that place is a fucking shithole. Oh, mate, it is woeful. And the one thing I will say, it is so compact with the seats. It's like literally, it's ridiculous how close all the seatings are. I mean, we thought White Hart Lane was cracked. I mean, the original White Hart Lane, that's like you're living on one of those first class seats on an aeroplane compared to what Stamford Bridge off here.
Scunthorpe Bridge is an absolute fucking hole.
Oh, mate, and the acoustics in that, you could hardly hear what those bloody Chelsea fans were saying, but they're probably trying to do something like 2 + 2, and it was working out as 7.
Yeah.
You could hear it after 10 minutes, Brian.
A lot of that will have been because they weren't actually speaking English, though. You know, guttural grunts don't really count as language.
Yeah.
So because of that.
It was great. It was great to hear. After 10 minutes, they started doing their champions of Europe. We know what we are. And then you could just hear the Tottenham fans override it with scumbags of Europe.
We know what you are.
Racists of Europe. We know what you are.
We were
and then the thing we're not allowed to say anymore because we had the club put out a statement today. And the boys of Europe, we know what you are.
Oh no, that's not the chant they were going mad at.
Not
there
really.
was a chant, and I'll tell you the chant they were singing, but they were singing he shags Declan Rice, he shags Declan Rice, Mason Mount, he shags Declan Rice. Yeah. That was
Jesus Christ.
That's what the whole that's where it's
bloody David Baddiel again, I bet.
But do you know what it is as well? They have a go at that. And one song that I never sing it, I never take part of it, is what they say to Alonso. Yes, he's a cunt. Yes, he is what he is.
Oh, you could hear that very loud last night.
Yeah, and I didn't sing that. I won't sing that. But they pick up on that, but not that.
It struck me last night how Marcus Alonso can say he doesn't know why the Tottenham fans don't like him after that chant was just beaming over the whole ground.
I think we predominantly do it, but if you watch Match of the Day or when Chelsea, he always doesn't get a good reception for that reason. I think because it's Spurs, we just take it to an extreme. But yeah,
the card thing.
Unfortunately had a car accident and a girl tragically died. But they really like non-stop pastoring of him. But like I said, I mean, the performance was woeful. If it's a performance like that in the second leg, expect some chance like United to be appearing again. That's all I'll say.
Good. Good.
That's what I will say.
Yeah. It's not
Right.
far.
Have you got your forfeit sorted out yet?
Oh,
Brian?
mate, Barry, Sean, Nick, David, Bob, whatever your fucking name is.
You're becoming the bloody Daniel Levy of excuses, mate.
You
and
know,
not
you know
signing
what,
a
Brian?
player.
Oh,
To be
Low
decided.
well, mate,
low
listen.
blow.
I put it out there, mate. One thing I will let you know is I am getting 100k underneath the tattoo. And that won't forfeit. That is my own doing and my own stupidity. But
Tommy
I thought,
agreed
yeah.
earlier to get a Vlahovic tattoo on his arse if we sign him. He said he'd get a tattoo of
Who
Vlahovic.
said that?
Tommy talks ball.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
getting a Vlahovic tattoo on his arse if we sign him.
So listen, when it comes to this forfeit, there were a load mentioned, and then obviously I thought long and hard about this, and some of them were to sing a song saying, and I've got to make sure Cody's not in the comments because he'll clip me saying I have different feelings for a person than what I actually do.
That's
And
all
then
you need to say, Brian. You don't.
Yeah,
need to say
I was just thinking. Do you know what? I went to bed that night, and it was the same as playing on my head, saying I can't do it. I can't. I can't. So I'm still.
The I Love Levy T-shirt was the best idea.
Yeah, I can't.
I love Levy.
I can't. The full kit wanker, I'm more than prepared to do. More than prepared to do. But I won't buy the kit because I won't give the parasite money. So yeah. So it's still open.
My favourite one, which was the cat one, where you crawl onto the pitch behind Hugo Lloris and you just go, meow, I'm a cat.
Like I did at booking.com in the meeting. Yeah, do you know what, mate? When I look at it, I mean, we're better than Simeon and all of them, so it's quite high in the South Stairs, so it's quite obviously a walk to get down there. Now, if I knew I was coming to England or not going to get back to a game for a very long time, trust me when I say I would do it. But I don't fancy a lifetime ban. I'd love to be able to take my nephews and my niece there when they get a little bit older, and the parasite's not there, so I don't need to. I think
people need to rein in some of their expectations about this. There is doing something to make a statement, and that's fine. But then there's the point of taking it too far and actually causing problems. Yeah, there's a limit, right? So yeah, nothing too silly, I think.
Yeah. So the T-shirt's fine then. No, I mean that was a great idea.
Not with that word. Parasite. I just can't listen. I think people know that I'm a man of my word and I'm a bit of a crazy bastard and I will do stupid things. So the forfeit, if people come up with a decent one, I'm more than prepared to do it.
Okay, so
Brian, you know what?
What will happen first? Will we sign a player or will we agree on your forfeit? What will happen first?
Well, mate, we'll probably agree on my forfeit. Without a doubt.
You know what, Brian? You're honoured to share a stream tonight with Alan, who is one of the few people who's not Levy out still, isn't he?
We know. No, we spoke yesterday.
I actually spoke to him briefly yesterday on Persuasion. Briefly spoke to him. Listen,
even after last night, Alan, you're not pissed off at the lack of quality in the squad?
As I said, until I'm going to give it a few windows to see if.
It's only had 21 years, Alan.
No, he's only had 42 windows.
But hold on a minute. Come on, we were in a small capacity stadium, a 36-seater stadium. And
36 seats.
That is small.
36,000.
Smaller than Barnet.
But what he's done, he told us from the start that they weren't going to be spending their money. And what's come up is the hurdle of all of a sudden we get Abramovich has come in and changed it. Then we have the Sheikhs come in and changed it. And Man United are always going to be a bigger club because they go back to the Busby Babes. They're a massive club. At the end of the day, he said that we was going to try and compete once the stadium was built. Yeah, I know the stadium's been built for 3 years, but it's been closed for most of it. We haven't had one full season in it yet. So I'm willing to give him the windows. Why have we got a full stadium? And then see how it goes from there.
It's always jammed tomorrow, though, Alan, isn't it?
That's
it's like
this
there's always an
window,
excuse.
though. That's
Another
the thing.
excuse will come, and then
Yeah,
another.
there is no.
No.
Alan, I listen. I had that same thing in my head as well, right? But it's now. That's it. It's now crunch time, right? There's no further excuses because the stadium has been full. And the thing about it is that, again, people have got to get their heads around this idea. It's not a case of we need to build a war chest and then go and spend it. Right. We spend, it's like any other big business, right? You spend according to your turnover, not according to your savings, right? Yeah. And so if he doesn't spend this January, or if he doesn't show that he's going to be spending this January, that is a symbol that he's not going to change. That's the issue.
Alan, let me ask you that question another way around, okay? But first of all, I love that we're having this discussion under the score predictions for Morecambe banner.
3-1 for me. 3-1 for me.
Alan, the question I'm going to ask you, okay? I can understand. Listen, I don't agree, but I can understand where your viewpoint is coming from. So, like I said, I understand people that aren't as staunch as me or aren't as firm or whatever. I understand that everyone has a different breaking point, and that's everyone's right. But you're saying you're going to give them windows when the stadium's full. Let's just say in the summer, just hypothetically, Conte walks. Yeah. He says, I can't do this. He walks. Okay? And we get whoever is in, it's not going to be that high elite as Conte. Do you still say, I'm going to get, or if Conte walks, you're like, right, that's it, done.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I would be done if Conte walks. I would be done because it's the first time we've got I love Poch, but as I say, Conte I think is a different class.
Different gravy.
Different gravy.
Again, Levy never backed Poch.
Never backed Poch.
When we needed those players until right before the end of his tenure. To be honest, I was not anti-Levy until the whole European Super League thing.
Yeah, well, I've got my views on that.
And then that was it. I always thought, he seems to be investing.
One thing I would say that, Alan, you don't need a stadium behind you to pay the money that they wanted for Jack Grealish. You don't need a stadium behind you to pay the money for Bruno Fernandes. We're talking about small fry.
I'll tell you something, John. Right, I'll be honest with you. If Man United hadn't come in for Bruno Fernandes, we would have signed him. The minute Man United showed their face, that's when we lost out.
I thought it was because they wanted another 20 million or something. That's what it was.
Exactly what it was.
We could have moved faster.
I'm only going by what I've been told. Sorry,
that's the thing.
The other sticking point towards that transfer deal, and it's another reason why I get so pissed off with him, is that he wanted to move Eriksen out and get the money before he brought him in. And it's like, if you know Eriksen's going and he's at the end of his contract, isn't it wise to bring the replacement in and then you get the surplus out? Yeah, exactly. But what he did is he was so dependent on getting Eriksen out and getting the finances for that, so they didn't put in some money, that was the sticking point. That was the huge sticking point. Obviously, like Alan said before, when Manchester United come into the equation, there's a very big chance you're going to lose them just because of the size of that club. And what they're willing to do and what they're willing to pay. They're like, okay, what do you want? What do you need? Bang, bang, done by, see ya. But if we want to get there to be competing with these teams, and we could have had him, we could have had a Dybala, we could have had a Skriniar, and again, this is all we're talking the money that we wasted on Jack Grealish. Jack Clark. That 10 million would have got Skriniar with the added money to what we were. That would have got very, very close. It wouldn't have covered Fernandes, but it would have taken us a long way to Fernandes.
Do you know the story? Do you know what the alleged story behind the Dybala failure was? Have you heard this one, Alan?
No, I haven't. No. Go on.
So basically, Dybala was allegedly all agreed, right? All happy, no problem. They'd agreed £130,000 a week, right? All the underlings had basically done all the work with Dybala and his agent, and it was basically then final meeting with Daniel Levy. Him and his agent walk into Daniel Levy's office, and Daniel Levy's opening gambit in the meeting was to say, "I want you to take a wage of 100,000, not 130,000." And at that, his agent and Dybala both essentially laughed and walked out.
No,
and
I haven't heard that.
negotiation. And you know what makes it worse? I think it was the next week or the next month, there was an NFL game in which they sold something like £1.5 million worth of beer, which would have covered that £30,000 discrepancy that he asked him to take. That's the sort of stuff. I only heard it was third party rights. That's all I heard. Yeah. Well, this is it. That was the smoke screen. But in actual fact, although image rights are complex, as you say, every player has image rights issues and negotiations as part of the contract nowadays. It's impossible. Even young players that are just sort of starting on their careers, they will have putative image rights issues within their contracts. So this idea that Dybala had specifically complex image rights that had to be dealt with, all I would say to you is, if you want complex image rights, Gareth Bale's image rights situation is complicated, and we managed to get that one over the line.
Yeah,
you know,
didn't we get him before? You got to remember, we had him before that really set off, didn't he? You know, I think we got.
I'm talking about when we got him back on loan for a season.
Oh yeah.
Mourinho. Yeah, you know, those image rights were things, and we had to negotiate a partial wage contribution. You know, it was so much.
I know we never got it for nothing.
Deal. This is the issue about Levy. This is the thing for me. The only reason I give him a little bit of time right now is because he has to. If he is not monumentally stupid, he will understand that this is his last chance. That there is nowhere else to turn after this. There are no more excuses after this. And that's the whole point. And this is what that Rez's rant issue there. Yeah. The fact that we're 6 days in.
I know, but I still don't see a lot happening.
We've got no movement. No movement apart from one piece of in the know information on Spurs community. That's all I've seen. Yeah. Right? Well, what is Levy doing?
Just bear with me, right? I mean, John, if you want to do a quiz, find 10 names in the last 20 years that have been quality signings that have moved in January. You won't find many.
We got Van der Vaart, but maybe
Van der Vaart was
August. He got
it was January, wasn't
it?
No. Mate, I don't. So listen, I'm not going to so much back this up. I'm not going to so much back this up, but sorry, I'm just going to reiterate something you're saying, Adam. Give me 1 second. This is what we have done. Let me just find this. In the transfer windows in January, 2012 to 2013, we signed Zeki Friars and Lewis Holtby. The next season, we signed no one. The next season, we signed Dele Alli. The next two seasons, we signed no one. The next season, we signed Mora,
and we ain't done anything.
The next season, we signed no one. The next season, we signed Bergwijn and Gedson. And the next season, we signed no one. But he's right on that point. But just because other clubs can't do it, doesn't mean there can't be a club that does. I know it's hard, but
there are clubs that sign quality. But the thing is that we don't necessarily need top quality in this window. No, hold on. No, because we're not going to get top quality like your Vlahoviches in every position. We're not big enough to do that. We're not Man City, right? But so what we should be doing is, if we're not going to buy them now, at least get some pre-contracts in. At least get some pre.
Totally agree with you. I do agree with you totally there.
But there's been no sign of that either. There's been no noise about that either, right? The only ITK that I've seen is that there are five specific players that are deemed surplus. That's the sum total of what I've seen, right? Outside of media speculation that you don't know how accurate it is. No. And that's the problem for us, mate. That's why.
All I know is that we're looking at Kessie.
Okay, I get where you're coming, Alan, but how do you know for certain?
No,
do you know what I mean?
None of us do. But
you know, that's the
thing. As I say, I mean, there's been so many years that we've gone for players that have been publicised, and I'm just wondering whether they're trying to do it all under a low key, because we've had too many players that we've lost out to Chelsea and Man United because
we made noise.
We've made noises, and all I think is that I'm hoping that what Yen said, that what Trixer said, we hopefully Hopefully, we get the 3 in, and we get 3 or 4 out, and a couple on loans. That's what I'm hoping. But as I said, I can't say it here, but when we go into the back room, I shall reiterate what my friend said to me in the message. But I can't.
Listen,
I can't do it live.
This is not me necessarily. No. All I'm trying to do is convince you.
Yeah.
Here, right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm trying to convince you of our thinking.
Yeah.
You've heard of Occam's razor, right?
No, I haven't. No.
German lad, isn't he?
Yeah. Occam's razor basically says that given options for an explanation of a situation, most often the simplest explanation is correct, right? So right now we've got 21 years of evidence to suggest that Daniel Levy is the type that just will not do what he needs to do to make this club competitive. That's one side. Or things are happening quietly. Now, that may well be true. That may well be the case, that we're just operating under the radar. But Occam's razor would suggest that in actual fact, this is just
nothing.
More. Yeah. You know, we don't know, but so we're still speculating. But there's a reason why Brian has been saying what he's been saying for so long, right? And only now have people woken up to it properly, right? And they see that vision. Okay, they see that thing that you've been talking about, Brian, all these years. Yeah, because and for me, it is just a case of, is Daniel Levy that stupid or not? I can't believe someone would be that stupid. That's the only thing that's giving me any hope, that no one can be that stupid. And if at the end of this window we've had exactly the same, and no suggestion that something's going to happen in the summer, I don't mind. You sign no one, but I know that we've got players coming in the summer. That's fine with me. But if we don't even get that, then it will just confirm to me that Daniel Levy is monumentally stupid, and that he will not be able to lead this club to any kind of promise.
Rez, to answer Aaron?
Well, Occam's razor is in terms of the thought experiment, Occam's razor isn't an actual razor, whereas in the thought experiment, Schrodinger's cat is an actual cat. So I would say I would probably fight Occam's razor because it's non-existent, and so I would automatically win.
See, and this is why I have him on a retainer to cover all my legal expenses, because shit like that is just, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Oh yeah.
So yeah, but again, Alan, I'm not having a go at you for your perspective. I'm really not. I'm just trying to convince you. That's all I'm doing.
As I say, the thing is, as I say, that's all I've heard. Because one of the reasons why I come off of Spurs community is because I was fed up of hearing the same battered drum, and I was arguing, and there ain't a lot of people left that want to argue with me. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, right, Brian? In 2000 in Glenn Hoddle's second season, after Glenn Hoddle's second season, before they sacked him, I actually gave my season ticket up. And when they phoned up and says, "Oh, do you want to see your season ticket?" I said no. And the reason why I said it was because of Daniel Levy. I said the reason why I don't want it is because I'm fed up of Spurs buying the same people. All we're doing is buying people that are running down their careers. You know, Terry. Don't get me wrong, Terry Sheringham done a job for us, and other players done a job for us. But they were sort of like in their late. They're getting in their 30s. I wanted to see Les
Ferdinand.
I wanted to see. I wanted to see some youth coming in. I wanted to see some youth players coming.
Gus Poyet.
Right now, don't get me wrong. A few years later, Martin Yole comes in, and all of a sudden we're starting to play good football. Then we started playing again with Redknapp. Then I know we had the AVB situation. Now, to be honest with you, I didn't find it as boring as a lot of people, but
no, me neither.
But it wasn't sort of like lightning. When Poch came in, it was beautiful football, and I felt alive as a Spurs supporter for the first time in nearly 50 years.
Yeah.
Potts done something to me that even though I see the Ricky Villa scoring goal, winning goal against Man City, what Potts done to me, never ever have I felt like that. I've never really thought, do you know, I can't wait till next week. Or I can't wait till Wednesday. I can't wait. I was actually really looking forward to every single fixture going.
Yep. I remember the Swansea game. Do you remember that Swansea game where we scored like 3 goals in the last like
10 minutes? Yeah.
Ericsson.
Even in that game, that had got to the point where I was still confident that we would win that, even though we were 1-0 down all the way up to the 88th minute, I think it was. I know where you're coming from, absolutely.
Yeah. And as I say, so I've seen this go from being the sugar era of being fighting relegation and struggling in 10th place, and then or below the top 10, and all of a sudden I've seen, now don't get me wrong, but that ain't just down to the manager. Levy still had to purchase the players for him. Yeah, we've also seen the stadium. Now I know he made a statement that it wasn't going to seriously damage our transfers by building that stadium, but that is one thing I never believed, because I can't believe anyone can build a stadium that size. Yeah, okay, he done wrong. He built a stadium 400 million over what he said it was going to originally cost, or even more. But he
gave us a bonus for it as well.
I don't know whether he gives him the bonus or whether it's actually Lewis.
He does.
Right.
He does. He's the executive.
Right.
Anyway, gents, I'm gonna love you. And
I think we're gonna have to close up soon. We've been on at least 3.5 hours. So.
Anyway, 3-1 the score for 3-1 on Sunday.
In conclusion,
my toast is going very cold.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was ages ago, wasn't it? Yeah. Score predictions for Morecambe then. Where do we get to? Alan, did you do yours?
3-1 for me.
Nick.
4-1, like I said, for Bob Spur.
Brian, what's your score for Morecambe?
Well, what do you think I'm about to say? What do you think? So what I will say now, I'm going to say it to you now. I'm actually going to be saying it everywhere we go. We were trying to. I've got a guy within the Levy out group that actually makes all the banners, and I came up with the idea last week, but I can't get it done in time for Arsenal. We're going to try and get a banner for Get Well Bob to take into the stadium and take with us and put. But it's just going to take too long to get. So one of the Levy outs actually said, "Why don't you do one of those clap for Bob things where you try and get it out for a certain minute?" So I don't know if we're going to do it in time for Morecambe, but Morecambe would have been the best because it's family day. But I'm going to try for either Arsenal or the Chelsea leg. We're actually going to. I was going to do 27 because it's birthday on the 27th, but then Ben from We Are Tottenham TV said, "He always says 4-1. Why don't you go for 41st minute?" And I was like, "Bang, that's it. That's what we'll do." So I'm just waiting on a couple of bits to get confirmed, and hope I've actually spoken to or emailed the Tottenham charity at Tottenham Hotspur, blah blah blah, to see if we can get anything on the screen. But they said got a normal auto response saying we get so many responses, we'll get back in touch with you at some point, whatever. But I will be trying to get this either for Chelsea or Arsenal. And when I tweet it, I'm going to put it in all our community page. I need everyone to retweet, repost, Instagram, Facebook, everything to try and get this. But that reminded me when we said, I mean, also, I don't know who's here, or I know who's here, but I mean, in the chat, I don't know if everyone heard my update on Bob Spur on We Are Tottenham TV today. No, did everyone? Anyone hear it?
No, not all of them.
So let me go to the. Let me go to where we are.
I've got to eat some of this toast, though. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, man. Crack on.
I'm smoking. On mute and just according to Jens.
Some people pay good money to watch young gentlemen like yourselves eat on camera, Adam.
It's true. So the update on him was, and this was.
I told him to start talking, and now he's talking too much. Shut the fuck up.
That was. So the latest update was at 1:45 this afternoon, and it was he's stable. They had to check his kidneys because they thought he had a kidney problem, but they're okay. He's fighting another infection, but he's on very, very strong antibiotics. But the markers from the infection is coming down. His oxygen is now at 70%. Rez probably knows quite a bit as well. I mean, his oxygen levels have been good, spike, okay, spike, okay. And it got a couple of days ago, we were in a dangerous territory, but he seems to have fought that. And he was at 60% on his back. He's now up to 70. They're saying he's still in a stable condition. I mean, this is, to tell you the truth, it's really, really hard because we're trying to speak to doctors, but we just get nurses. So all we hear is the update is, yeah, a doctor will call you. Yeah, he's at 60%. Yeah, he's stable. But there's no, okay, well, what's the plan of action? Okay, how long is this going to continue? What is the next step? So we're hoping, what we were planning to do, or what I am planning to do, is I wanted to go down. Rez will tell you on New Year's Eve, I was ready to go to Harlow and start ripping literally the hospital apart to find out what the fuck is going on with him. But we decided against it because obviously it's New Year, and I just. But what we're going to do is hopefully I'm speaking to Tammy once Kim has tested negative. Hopefully, me and her will go down to Harlow Hospital, and I won't move until she sees a doctor.
Was he back at Harlow? As he's not in Milton Keynes anymore?
Yeah, he's been back at Milton Keynes since just before New Year.
Before New Year's, yeah, it was 2 days.
Just before New Year. So they're playing pass the parcel with my best mate. It's like literally put him in a coma. He wakes up in Milton Keynes. Put him back in the coma. He's back at Harlow. But the good thing is he's local again. But it's just hard to get. Milton Keynes were wonderful with their information, keeping in communication. Whereas Harlow, they may be over on everything, but not so much. The communication isn't as great. So we'll Tabby, you got to remember Tabby as well. She's got her kids asking for, can I have a video call with Daddy? Can I speak? And it's going to start happening more and more. So hopefully, once Kim has tested negative for a couple of days, I will be go to Harlow Hospital and not move until Kim has seen a doctor and we actually get some proper answers. But like I said, going back to it, he is currently stable. I don't know if I've now decided as well. I was actually meant to come back to Canada on the 23rd of January. I am now not leaving until he sees me with his own eyes. I can't be here this long and not see him. So broke the news to the wife, who was like, oh, God, how long are you going to be? But okay, I understand how important. I'm very lucky to have the most incredible wife that I do. And then, yeah, so I will be here a little bit longer, unless he wakes up in the next couple of days, which, let's face it, doesn't look certain. But this is where we are right now. And like I said to everyone, when we do have updates, we will let you know. I normally do it if there's an update on Good Morning Tottenham, because obviously it's got a huge audience and it's easier. But if you guys don't hear anything, like Kim, Tammy, and I are saying, if there is no update, there is no update. That's as simple. So, yeah, that's where we are with him. But getting back to the score prediction, 4-1 for Bob.
4-1 for Bobby. Okay, everyone done this predict the ends? Did you do one? You did, didn't you? On that note, I guess we should call it a day then. Anyone got any final thoughts before I click the montage?
Big up to everyone in the chat. Thank you for watching again, as usual. Do please
subscribe
and share with your friends. And if you want to follow any of us on Twitter, do please.
You'll probably see Rez on other channels, so
you'll probably see me on the channel.
Thank you for Brian from Tottenham on Tour for joining us, and Nick.
Always a pleasure, guys. It's been way too long since I've been on this channel. Way too long. Because no one says we're going live, and I'm like, when's Johnny next going live, or when's she? They're because Nick sent me Nick, Barry, Sean, Phil, Grant, and all, Dirty Den, Lofty, Nigel, Steve. Literally send that to me. And I only just saw it on Facebook Messenger, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, man, I've only just seen this." He was like, "We're still on." I was like, "Oh, okay." So, but yeah, it's always a pleasure coming on this show, and everyone should be liking and subscribing this channel a hell of a lot more. If not only because Johnny Einstein does a lot of work, Barry, John, Phil, Graham, Russell looks like an EastEnders character. Alan's a great guy. Rez is just my legal team and has become a slut as well, like me. And because Jens has the greatest laugh on YouTube. And I tell you to find anyone that hasn't. I tell you to find anyone that beats it.
Smatley himself. And on that note, thank you everyone for watching and commenting. Some great comments. Thank you all your guests for coming on today. The ones that are here now, Colin, who was on earlier, I think he's run out of data in his hotel. Come on, you Spurs, and
Levy out.
Levy out, Alan.
Levy out.
No.
Levy out.